Hello. I've decided that in order to truly appreciate the finale, I must show up no matter what. And today I'm just ahead. It's so sad, but here we are. What up, Nox? Welcome. Sorry, allergies got me a little bit fucked up this week. It's funny because I've never like had allergic reactions, but I think the roller coaster weather where like it was 80 for a week and then it was 60 and then it was like 40 and it snowed one day, then went back up to 60 and then it went back up to 80. I think that like pump faked my body and now my body's like, I don't know how to work anymore. And I'm like, yeah, me neither. Spray's looking fresh. Yeah, they were done on Tuesday, I believe. So they're still pretty fresh. They're too long though. I can't even show them off on stream. I did have a dream I cut off all my hair and that kind of fucked me up. I was like, I don't remember cutting off my hair. So that was a fun way to start my day. Hope everyone's Friday is going well. Or Friday as I call it. Trauma, yeah. The trauma of a haircut. Trauma. I haven't listened to Jamie Lee Curtis talk enough to really be able to hear that in my head. It's a fucking giant ass sword. Alright, I will look at that later. The only reason I'm waiting is because I do have desktop audio on for PC games, and it'll just play really loudly. I'm trying to conserve memory on my computer. Also slow rolling a little bit just to let people get in here. I know a lot of people are very invested in this game. So who am I to make it so they can't enjoy the grand finale? What up, Rage Houdini? Welcome. Glad you can make it to this momentous occasion where I might spend the next 30+ hours playing this game again. It's funny because before I started, or I think like after the first stream, I was like, man, that's going pretty quick. I wonder how long it takes. And I think Nutty looked it up and they're like, yeah, it's 17.8 hours. And I'm like, oh god. And I checked my playtime before we started and I think it was like 14 something. So it's about on brand. By on brand, I mean on target. So that's exciting. We'll finish right on time. Even if it requires me to pad my gameplay. The grand finale? Yeah, exactly. Oh hell yeah. More Twitter followers that are definitely legitimate. Are you looking for a VTuber model? No, I'm not, actually. My VTuber model is me just pulling this over my head and disappearing from the world. Spooky. Alright, I think all the major minor stakeholders are here, so if they're not, they'll catch the VOD. Alright. Nope, I'm just gonna live here forever, actually. Yeah, sure. After a few hours of waiting, I almost can't handle it anymore. It's impossible for me to rest when my friends could be in danger. Making my way to the exit, I cross my fingers, hoping that things were okay. Just as I'm about to leave, the door is swung open, catching me off guard, smacking me in the face and knocking me out again. I take a few steps back to avoid getting hit, letting out a sigh of relief afterwards. It's Ulrich, but that's not all. A few moments after he enters, Valessa and Fortain follow. They lived! They're alive! What a huge relief this was. Yeah, major minor, winds of change, handshake emoji, wearing a helmet to not get knocked out at the end of the game. All the worry had taken its toll. I shit my pants. We hug each other with big smiles on our faces. For a while there I was scared of what might have happened. Thankfully they're okay. I could rest easy as we move forward with everything. Yeah, your clenching has finally subdued, and the poo is ready to rock. Sorry for taking a bit longer than you thought. We've never been here before, so we got lost. Yeah, and it was even harder because you're keeping quiet. It's hard to find people who don't want to be found, you know? Or at least they'll hug and tell them that everything is fine. I was worried, but I knew that they were capable of surviving. I can't believe how cold this place is. It looks so uninviting, too. Scary, almost. Like that's a shoop to whoop face? Which one? The face of shitting your pants in relief? Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, hopefully we can change that. The Triumvirate seems neglectful, but why? I shrug, unsure of how to answer that question. We're here to kill the Triumvirate, not reason with them. I have a feeling this, among other questions, would remain unanswered. Damek and Hal soon enter the shack. Followed by more of our comrades, we quickly fill the room. Gathering around the table, it's clear that it was time to plan. Off to a good start, clearly. Alright, we need to talk about what happens next. Until now we've been pretty vague, since time was short. But there's no more delaying, this is everything we've got. We need to push through the town square before anything can happen. Balteus is fortified. Did I spell Balteus right in my fucking stream title? That'd be cringe. Okay, cool, I did. Balteus is fortified by a large wall, so we can't get to the library from the outside. This means that the bulk of the battle will take place within the city itself. However, we can't get to the Grand Library with as little resistance. However, we want to get to the Grand Library with as little resistance as possible. To that end, we'll have our Monarch vessels go in first and cause a distraction. If they can lure the Honor Guard away from the town square, we can slip in. Since the Honor Guard can't enter the library, it's perfect for a base of operations. Let's face it, this shack is dangerous, so we should get moving as soon as possible. Once we're in the library, we can relax and prepare to launch our final assault. And what will that final assault consist of? Good question. Here's what we've been thinking. If the floor is mine, I'll reveal our plan. In this dangerous shack where nobody could be watching or listening. Hal nods, giving Damek the floor. He steps forward, onto the floor he was given. No one else has a floor left. We all fall to our deaths. The end. Placing a scroll on the table, he promptly unfolds it. I think you unroll a scroll. I can see that it's a map of Balteus, the entire city. Everybody gathers around the table, putting aside any other business. If the strategy at sea was any indication, I know this operation is in good hands. Just like how I got stabbed in the shoulder. They certainly seem to know what they're doing, and I can feel our morale rising. I like how, depending on who your strategist is, they just use they. Not that Hal uses, like, they-them pronouns. He starts to speak with certainty and confidence. It's impressive. They must have been planning this for a while now. We all watch intently and curious to see what kind of strategy they have. This is the main area of the city. Our goal is to ensure that Pants has a clear path to the castle. With that way he could slip inside and kill the triumvirate with minimal effort. Hal and myself will lure the honor guard to the town square. This is where the bulk of the battle will take place. It shouldn't be too hard. With the added might of our draconic allies, we have no problem at all. Pro will sneak away from the town square and infiltrate the castle. His job will be to cause a distraction, luring enemies away from the atrium. With that done, the rest should be smooth sailing for Pants. I'll go with Pro if that's okay with you. I know the layout of the castle, and he'll need some backup. We can't expect him to hold off an entire horde of suits at once. Very well, Grizz. Very well. Grizz will accompany Pro. The two of them will have no problem clearing the castle. The bulk of the honor guard will be with me in the town square. Alright, that takes care of Hal, Pro, and myself. The rest of you will accompany Pants to the castle. Let's see here, I should have another map detailing our current area. The only way to approach the Triumvirate's castle is directly from the front, definitely not the back, where there's a giant castle and a mountain that goes into the gates. That is, unless you know a secret or two, like going over the wall. This involves a hidden mountain pass. Using this pass, you can go around Balteus. It'll be much easier than sneaking through the city. Joining you will be Ulrich, Fortame, and Valessa. How'd you learn about this trail, Damek? Can you be certain that it's not a trap? Yeah, I'm certain. It came from Grizz's files. If there's anyone I trust about this nation, it's him. Alright, fair enough. So the forest will take the trail to the castle. Not all the way, I'm afraid. I'll need some of you to split up on the way. There's another map here, just a second. You should emerge from the mountain pass right beside the castle that you can only get to by going through the city. Because of all the distractions, your path inside should be clear, but I need Fortane to do something special for us. Me? Special? What do you need me to do? I'll have you climb the castle, scaling the outside walls. Your job will be to get inside and ring the bell of retreat. If you can find it, it should make the honor guard stand down. Wait, seriously? All of them? Yeah, all of them. I'm putting a lot of trust in you here. Do you think you could do this for us? Of course, climbing's my specialty. Oh, that bell ringing in no time. Good. The rest of you will enter the castle from the front. Again, your path should be clear if all goes as planned. If not, well, you'll have to fight your way through, but I believe in you. Sounds good to me. Yeah, we can do this, no problem. I'm Valessa, known combateer. Glad to hear it. That is all we've come up with. Does everybody find it acceptable? Everybody nods, knowing their part. It seemed like they had almost thought of it all. With a strategy like that, victory seems almost certain. As long as I can defeat the Triumvirate and that idol. Even if everybody plays their part, the end is still all on me. I do my best not to let them down, but part of me is filled with fright. Oh, alright, let's go outside. We'll head to the Grand Library as a group. If we can get in there without trouble, the rest will be easy. The Monarch vessels should make it pretty easy for us. They'll lure the honor guard away from the town square. If they can do that, then we can slip in pretty much undetected. Hopefully they could survive the task. The operation will be divided into 2 phases then. Hit the Grand Library, then take the Triumvirate's castle. With everything planned and out in the open, we exit the shack. Hope fills the air for the first time in a while. We could do this. We could all get murdered. I smile at my comrades as we head outside one by one. The cold, uninviting air assaults me as soon as I exit the shack. It's like East Crown. I'm not sure how people could survive in this place. Well, not that there's many people here. It's mainly those suits of armor. I can hear everybody talking, going over the rules that they were assigned. If everybody did what they were supposed to do, then we'd win this for sure. Yeah, isn't that just everything, though? If everybody did what they were supposed to do, we'd be fine. And then you got shitters like me who are just gonna be like, haha, I will do not that. Of course, as long as I could destroy the Triumvirate and that idol they're housing. Sneak into the castle and lure everybody away from the main atrium. Seems pretty easy to me. Pants will have no resistance at all. And if I can ring that bell, then everybody will be safe. All those years of climbing has finally paid off. This is going to be great. Ulrich is quick to interject, putting any air against the rest before it can blossom. Look, none of that's going to happen if we can't take the Grand Library. We need to establish a foothold, a safe place to retreat to if things go south. They all nod and stop the discussion they were having. It's true, though. Without Haven, we're out in the open, completely unsafe. At least the first phase of our plan wasn't too complicated. I know we'd see it as the library. I noticed that one of our comrades is carrying Alex. That's good. The library would be the best place for him to get rest. He's fast asleep, which is pretty surprising, considering he's getting carried. He must be a heavy sleeper. Or dead. Or being a party pooper? Yeah. The library is the haven, yeah. They're saying that he can get rest at the library and not the shack. Yeah, I like how they're all like, yeah, you know the triumvirates that can control space and time? Yeah, we're gonna shit on them because I climbed a tree. The city should only be a couple of hours away. We trust that you can handle the cold. We don't really have much of a choice, Howl. Let's get going. I think our goal is pretty clear. Upon hearing that, we all start walking towards the city. I can see the impressive wall that surrounds everything. It's beautiful. However, I can't see anything past it. I have no idea what Balteus looks like. What these Balteuses look like. We walk through thick layers of snow and my legs start to tire out. But I'm not in a position where I have any choice. Pushing forward is mandatory. After what feels like a small eternity, we finally arrive at the gates leading to Balteus. The town gates and the wall are an amazing sight. Intricate details are carved into the stone. It's a work of art. Something told me the monarchy made this, not the triumvirate. Yeah, balls tears. This looks amazing. This must be a remnant of the monarchy, right? The triumvirate can't be this artistic. I know it. Correct. This looks just as we remember it. However, Balteus wasn't always this cold. Something bad has happened to the nation. Oh, I see. Like what? We're not sure. However, it is probably due to the triumvirate. It pains us to see how much they've defiled our former home. We used to live in Balteus. It housed the throne and our ruler. To see it reduced to a frozen wasteland is almost too much to bear, yeah. Let us head inside. We need to see what else has changed over the years. It reminds me of what we thought would happen to Valinor. Without the spirit idol, it would wither away and freeze over like its crown. We have since learned that that was false, but what's happened to Balteus then? As we all start to make our way inside the city, Damek stops us. He looks a bit worried, and I can tell that he's lost deep in thought. Monarch vessels, where are you? A few moments later, a group of Monarch vessels step forward. We don't have much time to waste. As soon as we get inside, you need to get to work. Lure the honor guard away from our path. Understood? Yes, of course. Your path to the library will be clear. As soon as the fighting dies down, we will come and join you. This should be easy, so don't expect us to be too far behind. Yes, of course. Thank you very much. Let's see. Is there anything else to cover? He turns back to face the rest of the group. Gulping, it's clear that he was fraught with anxiety. Gulp. Look, we're about to do something that's never been done before. We're seizing territory from the Triumvirate, right under their noses, much like they did to Mazeo. We're about to occupy Balteus. But that does not mean we are like them. We definitely aren't going to kill for the sake of occupation. We do what we do in order to gain our freedom. They occupied Mazeo, wanting to oppress us even further, and we want to oppress them further. We all exchange glances and nod at one another. I want you all to remember that as we press forward, war can blur the lines between good and evil, but I know where we stand. If you know that too, then there's nothing that can stop you. You are heroes. With nothing left to say, we slowly make our way into the city. I can tell that due to Damek's encouraging words, everybody is happy. However, as we enter, nothing prepares us for the sight that awaits us. Howl immediately steps forward, taking in the sight before him. Balteus looks almost uninhabitable. It's in a state of decay and death. I know the Honor Guard doesn't need a paradise, but this is crazy. It's Blighttown, yeah. What have they done? It's clear that Howl is hurt. This used to be the monarchy's home after all. Hopefully there would be a way to reverse all this. It isn't right. This is... well, I certainly didn't expect this. I'm guessing it didn't look like this in your time? No, Balteus was a paradise. This is unacceptable, Damek. We must find a way to fix it. Of course, there's no way I'll let this stand. It's a bit of a shock to our plan, but our plan remains unchanged. Secure the Grand Library, then kill the Triumvirate. After he's done talking, we see a horde of honor guard suits walk by. We quickly run off to the side and hide behind a nearby building. I've never seen anything like this. The building is pitch black. Pieces of it crumble off, almost like it's been burned or charred. But it hasn't. I know a building can't die, but there's no other way to put it. Like its source of life has been cut off. It appears to be living on borrowed time. What's going on here? This is disgusting. Look. He looks down and we all look at his feet on wikifeet.com/Fortame. We're no longer standing in snow, but ash and soot. Why is soot in quotations? I guess because it's not actually burnt. I start to wonder if it was ever really snowing at all. This is Alestia's fate if we leave it in their hands. They don't care about the land, they only care about themselves. Damn bold to say this is disgusting and then shove your feet in someone's face? Exactly. Also bold of them to not include art of the feet. Would have cost too much. Upper body, $50. Feet, $10,000. Also, how you doing in the world? Hope your allergies are feeling a little bit better. They don't care about the land, they only care about themselves. This is proof enough that we're on the right side of history. We getting through it, true. That's where I'm at right now. Ate some spicy Thai food to clear the sinuses. Yeah, I'm about to rip some hot sauce after stream.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Fuck. I'm getting true comboed by my nose being fucking itchy, dude. Unreal. Mustache is all fucked up. Come on. Hal turns to me and places a hand on my shoulder. We suspect that this may be related to their dark idol. Monarch, above all else, please prioritize its destruction. Yes, Nox? Have I told my nose to stop itching? Yeah, before stream I was beating it. Have I heard much of anything about Stranger Paradise? It's Final Fantasy Neo. Some people in chat, I know The World in Blue played it, but I haven't played it yet. I heard it's good though. I also have a copy, I just never played it, because I'm a piece of shit and don't play video games off stream anymore. I nod as previous visions start to repeat themselves in my mind. I was facing that idol with the blade. Everything is coming to pass. After our short talk, our attention is directed back towards the honor guard. Monarch vessels, come here. I think this is our best chance to take action. If that group is gone, our path to the library is clear. Upon hearing this, I quickly group up in front of Damek. Our goal is seizing the Grand Library, which seems pretty attainable. I hadn't even heard of it. It looked good. Bad marketing. It got memed into death, basically, because of the first trailer where Jack just says chaos, and then the second one where he says this is bullshit, then plays essentially Limp Bizkit and storms out. Everyone just immediately wrote it off as like a meme game, I think. That's really what happened. Oh, I'm sure it pays off. I'm just saying, like, everything I heard about the game was like, this is such a meme, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm still gonna play it, because Neo-like. Yes, sir. It should be easy enough to take them down. After they're dealt with, we'll meet you all in the library. Good. Go around this building and attack from the other side. They'll be focusing on you, so we'll head in the opposite direction. What is Neo? N-I-O-H. Neo. Perfect. Then see you at the library. If we don't make it, it's been an honor. After exchanging a nod, both groups part ways. The Monarch vessels prepare to distract the honor guard. Damek points to a nearby road, signaling where we should run. The Grand Library is right over there. We'll run on my mark, so just hold on. After speaking, he immediately places a finger against his mouth. It's clear that we need to remain silent while the vessels carry out their goal. We wait there in an intense silence, waiting to hear the clashing of swords. Ching ching, ching ching. We all stare at each other in unease. We know that when they start to fight, some of them may die. It pains me that sacrifice was necessary in order to attain our goal. But I know that their sacrifice would never be forgotten. My heart sinks as soon as I hear them start to fight. I hear screaming and steel against steel. Yo, these guys fucking suck at fighting. Literally, the first sword clash and people are already dying. My instinct tells me to run immediately, but Damek has yet to move. I can see him wince every time the skirmish gets a little louder, but soon enough he makes the call and we're all running. Now, go! In our haste, we still make sure to be as silent as possible. The Grand Library isn't too far away. In fact, I can see it now. It stands tall and seems to be the one building that's not falling apart. As soon as we arrive there, we all let out a big sigh of relief. We can still hear the fighting, but it's more distant than before, because we ran away from it, and people are dead. Through the screams, it's impossible to tell which side is winning. Probably the ones that aren't screaming because they can't. What's going on back there? I don't know. Let's just hope it's going well. Doesn't sound that way. For the honor guard, maybe. Hurry up, we need to get inside. Shouldn't we wait for the Monarch vessels? At this rate, it might not be much longer. No, they can meet us inside. We can't risk running into more suits. That was just one group. I'm sure there's more. Right. They start to ascend the stairs, but Hal stops them. Wait, the library seems fine. Why does it not decay like the rest? Everybody turns to face him, but nobody knows. Damek takes the stairs back down and faces Hal. I don't know. I don't know, but I think this is a good sign. It means we can control or limit what's happening. Knowing this, we might be able to fix Balteus. Or perhaps it's a bad sign, Damek. Maybe our enemy has the power to harm Alestia itself. How do you think we can stand up against such a foe? Well, I guess you know what, dude? You're right. You're kind of cooking on this one. Let's just go home. They can harm the fucking planet. I don't, unless we can combine into Furry Captain Planet, I don't think we really have an option there. Fortame's Earth. Valessa is Heart. Ulrich is Fire. Damek is Water. Pro is Wind. And then I'm Furry Captain Planet. With your powers combined. Let's give it up and let it roll the next sprint. Yeah, basically. I've tried enough. I've tried hard enough. I give up. Bye. Everybody exchanges worried glances. But then their eyes find their way to the blade on my back. It's apparent that conventional means wouldn't be enough to win. Nobody knows how to answer Hal, and an awkward silence follows. Then we realize that it is indeed a silence. This is concerning. The earlier fight is over, but did the Monarch vessels prevail? Hey, let's get inside, alright? Maybe the librarian knows more about this. We shouldn't stand around in the open out here. Having successfully changed the subject, we start heading inside. Hal made a good point, but none of us were able to counter it. I doubt that the librarian would want to talk to invaders like us. It makes me worry about how we might get them to talk. There is so much uncertainty and worry in the air right now. As we enter the library, I hope that our forces live through their fight. When we enter the library, I'm taken aback by what I see. Books! Dust fills the air, and it seems like this place had seen better days. The only sign that somebody has been here is that books remain clean. However, whoever has been taking care of this place only cares about the literature. Yeah, I skipped every book for a reason. I guess that's acceptable since that would be the main job of a librarian. But it just seems odd, all the time in the world, and is still quite dirty. There's some kind of weird apparatus in the back of the library. I've never seen anything like it before. It's almost awe-inspiring. My comrades all look around, sharing the same look of awe. This is amazing! I've never seen so many books in one place before, not even our Rebel HQ library that contained every book we had read up to that point. I wonder what they're all about. Should we take a look? Oh boy, 50 Shades of Grey. I've been meaning to read this one. Maybe not. We're here for a reason, remember? Let's find the owner and see what they can tell us. Hal steps forward, objecting before anyone else can speak. Actually, there's a chance that the books could tell us even more. The Triumvirate must keep them away from the mainland for a reason. What do you mean? The monarchy vanished in the blink of an eye. This we know for sure, yeah. People can be erased, but not culture. Signs of our time here would have remained. So you're saying... Before we continue, we hear a noise come down the hall. Get the fuck out of my library! What the fuck are you doing in here? We know the honor guard can't enter, so it must be the proprietor. Knowing that we need to take them hostage, we assume hostile stances. Oh shit. Where's Grizz? Looking into the past is one of the best ways to learn. If we don't become better people, then we'll repeat the same mistakes. How fitting that the old monarchy would focus only on the future. We all exchanged glances, slightly confused. They wanted to guide themselves to the perfect future. If it was possible to get there, then no cost would be too high. In the name of a better world, they embraced corruption. After a few steps forward, the mysterious man comes into view. Too often do we condemn others in our self-serving journeys. A bright future for the monarchy would have meant death for other innocent worlds. The triumvirate chose to step in, as they have countless times before, to maintain balance. Damek interjects with a look on his face that I can only describe as the onset of anger. That's how I look when I'm about to be really mad. We know that the triumvirate did to the monarchy. Hal told us, but like you said, mistakes are how we learn and grow. It's how we become better. If the option of failure is taken away from us, we can no longer call ourselves people. They can hide behind whatever reason they want, but they're wrong to control us. It's a dead sheep, just like Grizz wears. The ability to make these mistakes is our right, and I will not stand by while it is taken away. Corruption, death, nobody wants these, but without them we might as well not exist at all. Everybody nods and cheers Damek on. Yeah! Let the man cook, brother. The mystery man shrugs and keeps walking forward. Restrain this man. I expect to see the man put up a fight, but he doesn't. You will experience no resistance from me, but on the other hand, you'll find no help either. Do what you must, but keep the library intact. He gets on his knees and holds out his wrists. Hal makes quick work of restraining him. Who are you? You know far more than most. The man shakes his head. Just a hoarder of knowledge, a man who preserves the past rather than erasing it. In exchange, the triumvirate gives me life and shelter. Another one of their victims, you mean? Eternal life in exchange for servitude. Despicable. What atrocities do you commit in their name? I created this library, a glimpse into the past. Everything the monarchy ever wrote is on these shelves. That was my job, preserve the old history while creating a new one. And what new history did you create? I made one with a bunch of Baracock. I wrote about the triumvirate and spread it everywhere, made them seem like gods, like they are the creators of this world. As new life began on Alestia, they found my writing and believed every word. Hal scoffs as anger boils within him, but before he can do anything, Pro interrupts. August Valor. The man's ears perk up in a way that reveals he is reacting to his name. That is the moniker I assumed, yes. I'm happy to know that the name is still remembered. August Valor. The man revered as the greatest historian. I can't believe that he too was a tool of the triumvirate. So everything the people believe is a lie that you created. Why would you need to go to such extremes? This is insane. Wait, so the what is this poorly fitting coat? Yeah, I could hear that my brain turn off reading that. Look at how you and your friends reacted to learning the truth. It brought you here, prepared to kill those who gave you life. The people must never know the true cost of their creation. The triumvirate's probably, like, essentially gods. I don't believe this. Hal, get him out of our sight. Hal, whack his pee-pee. Hal drags Algus away as the rest of us group together. Well, at least he didn't put up much of a fight. I'd like to say that I'm shocked, but I don't feel surprised at all. This journey has been full of revelations. This is just another for the pile. It doesn't really change much at all. We still have a plan, but it'd be stupid to attack the enemy in the middle of the night. Let's rest until the break of dawn and meet in front of the library. Remember that we're safe as long as we stay in here. Hopefully the rest of our forces aren't too far behind. You're all dismissed. See you in the morning, okay? Where are we supposed to rest? On the floor, moron. I'm sure there's private quarters around here somewhere, and if you can't sleep, then at least there's a lot of books to read. After the war, we should give this knowledge back to the people. Yeah, I agree. The triumvirate can't hide this stuff forever. We finally have proof that nobody can deny. This is amazing. If we show them this, they'll accept our rule without question. Damek smiles, his spirit seemingly lifted. Yeah, let's hope you're right. Have a good night to all of you. With that, we're all left on our own. People scatter about, reading books and exploring the library. I decide to look for a private room so I can relax and gather my bearings. So I can finally take a shit in peace. Hallen returns to the chambers of the Triumvirate. Noticing the absence of Shane, they're a bit confused. They don't assume the worst and ask Hallen to brief them. Shane stayed behind to lead the naval attack. He plans to trim their forces as much as possible. Like you anticipated, they're arriving by sea. Good. The things are going according to plan. We'll have to wait in the atrium for their arrival. This means that you'll be our last line of defense. I consider it an honor, but I have to say I'm worried for Shane. His chances of survival are pretty slim out there. He knew what he was signing up for. If he killed even one of the rebels, then he was successful. Focus on protecting this castle, Hallen. That's more important. Yeah, of course. I'll make sure no one's past the atrium. If they try, they'll fall as quickly as they enter. Thank you, Hallen. It's important that they have a false sense of security. Don't give them too much resistance until it's absolutely necessary. If they think they're going to win, they're more prone to slipping up. It's up to you to figure out when that moment is and take advantage of it. Even if it takes your life, you are to prevent them from entering our chambers. We are going to be naked. Hallen kneels, complying without hesitation. Yes, of course, my life for the Triumvirate. I'll fortify straight away and wait for their arrival. Hallen strides out of their chambers with a sense of purpose. After he leaves, they turn to each other, displaying soft smiles. Hopefully this time, things will be different. Yeah, I can't believe Hallen died. After finding a private room, I pace around it in circles. I've had nothing but bad luck when it came to getting rest. Ever since we left Mazio, I've been too worried to fall asleep. It's been 14 days since I've had sleep at all. I tried reading books, but none of them are able to capture my interest because I can't focus on anything due to my lack of sleep and current hallucinations. Pacing the room, I basically succumbed to the anxiety assaulting my mind. However, and thankfully, a knock at my door soon returns me to lucidity. As soon as I open it, Damek enters. He takes a deep breath, sounding both annoyed and relieved. I don't blame him. He's gone through so much in such a short time. We finally put the librarian to rest. He sure likes to talk a lot and about nothing at all. Lots of answers in the form of riddles. Boring stuff. It's pretty interesting that he didn't resist, though. He said he won't help us, but he won't stop us either. His true allegiance is to history. That's what he kept saying. Doesn't make much sense since he faked so much history about in the past, but no matter what happens next, he'll have a lot to write about. If we win, he'll record it. If we lose, he'll record that too. I guess his stance makes more sense if you look at it that way. No matter what happens next, somebody would need to write about it. His main condition was that we don't harm the library. Pretty good terms, especially in exchange for a foothold. We may not have won yet, but we've seized Baltean soil. Bro, we literally just walked in and sacked some people and then just walked into the library. We've seized them! That's true, nobody else has ever gotten this far that we know about. I can tell that we stand a chance at winning, and it feels amazing. But I have to ask, how do we know that this Algus can be trusted? We don't, but he can't do much if he's locked up. Any chance he had at intervening is long gone by now. Excuse me. He could try when we leave, but we'll be prepared to fight by then. I nod, thanking Damek for the update on what's going on. Of course, I just wanted to make sure you were all right. It must be hard to sleep right now, given all the weight on your shoulders. The others aren't sleeping either. Maybe you should spend some more time with them? He's right, if I can't sleep, then that's probably the next best idea. But I wonder if our bonds are strong enough to warrant some time together. This could be our last night alive, after all. They might be more protective of their time. I guess there's no harm in checking. I see him out of my room with a new goal in mind. Turning back to face the vast emptiness of this private room, I wonder who I could invite over. This would be a good night to make some final memories, just in case the worst came to pass. Yeah, I grabbed a table at Wendy's. I now own the Wendy's. You can spend final one-on-one time with every loyal comrade. Click the arrow in the top right corner when you're ready to proceed with the story, and note that doing so will be in the final battle and lead to the ending of the game. Time to fuck, brother. Let's fucking go. Before we start fucking, I'm gonna go pissing. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. We're back and ready to get some tail. I'm going in reverse order, or really in this order, but it's the reverse of my normal path. Alright, let's go. As I'm browsing random books, I hear a knock at my door. It's Hal. I let him in and ask him how things are going. I don't know why I asked. It's clear what the answer was. They all worry. They fear that death will come for them. An understandable fear, however. This is the end of our journey. We will face more danger than ever before as we move forward. August, however, isn't making things any easier. He plants seeds of doubt in many of our soldiers' pants. Yeah. Words are a writer's greatest weapon. A gag would be effective. So would a sword. It's unclear if this was a joke, but it gets a smile from me regardless. He says that we are the true enemy, the monarchy. He says that if you knew the truth of our people, you would run. You would no longer fight for us as we endangered innocent worlds. It is not true, however. His mind has been twisted beyond repair. But many soldiers are starting to doubt. What if he's telling the truth? Could they save their lives by switching sides in the final moments? Yeah. That is unacceptable. We couldn't find it. We couldn't afford any turncoats. The monarchy made mistakes as any group of people do. Like Damek said, mistakes are how we learn and grow. Bad choices, while bad, are our right as people to make, yeah. They cast us aside in a prison, taking away our ability to choose, and in doing so they took away our ability to live in freedom. No matter our crimes, the punishment is far too severe, yeah. I agree, and I could never be turned against the monarchy. Isn't it, like, ironic how the whole story is like, the triumvirate is bad, they keep twisting people to carry out their own ends, and then I see, like, one picture of boobs and the sword, and I'm like, monarchy forever, brother, yeah! The triumvirate imprisoned them because they endangered worlds? A hypocritical thing to say as they hurt Alestia at the very same time. But we must stay. It was a battle that was lost fair and square. We were so focused on our own future we lost sight of everyone else's. It doesn't surprise us that our perfect future came at the expense of others. If it leads to happiness in the end, how can you decide what cost is too high? What valley is too high? What river is too low? This is the line that all tyrants seem to walk in the early days of their rule. Many have fallen to the wrong side, Pants. We trust that you will not. I nod. I don't see myself stooping to the level of the enemy anytime soon. We know that Damek wishes to gift all this knowledge to the people. These books capture almost the entire history of the monarchy. This may not be a good idea. They may read our mistakes. And those mistakes may just inspire future insurrections. We think it may be best to destroy the monarchy entirely, burn these books and remove the spirits from this body, yeah. Wait, what? That was certainly extreme. These books shouldn't exist at all, Pants. I can't fucking read, yeah. We don't know why the triumvirate keeps them lying around. If our oppression was their goal, then they should have destroyed them. Right now they exist as a testament to our imprisonment. As long as they remain intact, they will be only a harmful memory. They should be destroyed. Allow my people and our history to rest, yeah. I know I've been calling you the monarch and the king, but forget all of that. Let me die. This is all coming out of nowhere, but it makes sense. He is the monarchy embodied. This must be a horrific sight for him. His entire culture is stolen, imprisoned just like him and his people. This is why we ask that you look towards the future, Pants. Do not concern yourself with who we were or what we were like. Order this library to be destroyed. Live life on your own terms, yeah. I don't know what to say, so I just stare at him in silence. This started back during our journey into Eastcrown. This body could not survive the cold. The spirits inside helped, but in doing so they died. We are weaker than we were back then. Weaker, but more in tune with everything around us. It's almost like a weight was lifted from our shoulders. We would like you to lift the weight even further. Please, use that blade. Absorb the souls inside of us. Leave one behind, and let us feel what it is like to be alive. After the weight is gone from our shoulders, lift it from the world. Those around the room to the various books scared about. You must absorb these souls and destroy the books. Only then will the monarchy be truly removed from history, as our mind will be better for it. So too will the world itself, yeah. I don't know how to respond to what he's asking of me. Wants me to commit mass genocide against the monarchy? Not really. He's asking you to absorb the souls like you did before, idiot. This is all happening so fast, I'm unsure of how I should respond. One time in this game, I would love if the main character, when presented with something in a one-on-one context, did not go, everything's happening so fast, I don't know what to do. Bro, this is the slowest it could be happening. There's nothing faster. Or there's nothing slower than this. Everything is faster than this. He's presenting it to you calmly in your private quarters in a library where you are safe and sound. This is all happening so fast, I don't know how I should respond. Make a fucking decision. Think about it. You would not be killing us. We have long since been dead. It would be an act of mercy upon a group of oppressed people. We could no longer live. The Triumvirate stole that right from us. What amount of times that line is written in? I've said it at least 20. We can no longer live. The Triumvirate stole that right from us. But if you can take our spirits and use it to power the blade, maybe it will give you the edge you need to win this yourselves. We may have lost, but that doesn't mean you need to as well. The spirits may linger and the books may remain, but the truth of it is we're dead. We need to be buried. Our very existence is born from a denial of that death. If you leave one soul, we will use this body to fight for you. We may fall in combat, but nothing of value would be lost. We cannot help our own people, so we must help yours. I knew that eventually we'd have to tackle the nature of his existence, but I didn't expect to be confronted with it on the eve of the final battle. He wants to accept defeat, have the souls removed and the books destroyed. If we did that, there'd be no physical remains of the monarchy. I had spirits inside of me, but I was still my own person, able to live free. We're talking about the extinction of an entire group of people. I don't know. We understand this is too much to ask, Pants, but we think this is the right course of action for everybody. Don't be scared to hurt us. You cannot harm what is already dead. So I'm hitting the yoinky splinky on him, right? I'm just stealing the fucking spirits, right? End him. No, I'm hitting him with the elbow drop off the top rope, brother. You can't see my elbow, but imagine an... now you can see my elbow. Now you can no longer see my elbow. I've deleted it, just like I'm deleting him. I agree to grant him his request. I need this blade as strong as possible for the coming battle. These people may be lost, but they can still help us win this war. Thank you, Pants. Do not worry about the books. We will talk to Damek. But know that you made the right choice and rest easy. With a nod, I take out the blade and hold it to his chest. It responds to my will, so I do my best to envision Hal's request. Leave one soul to inhabit the body and use the rest to power the blade. I close my eyes and try my hardest to make his dream a reality. After a while, I take a deep breath and he seems a bit different. The blade didn't seem to activate, but I guess I did what I needed to do. Thank you. You did the right thing. If you'll excuse me, I have more to take care of. The final battle looms. There is much for all of me to do. I nod and see him out of my room. I didn't expect to settle this one-on-one. Maybe part of me wanted the input of others, because like always I can't make a decision on my own. However, I think things turned out for the best. If we maintained the secrecy, nobody would ever know. I helped him and he helped me. I was stronger than before. Cool. Nope, no corruption. Alright, Damek. Maybe we'll finally get to hold hands with Damek. I invite Damek over to my private room and he looks around, astonished. Even though he's seen it before, he acts as if it's the first time. I don't blame him. This room surely is a sight to behold. What a sight, Pants. I assumed this is where Algus would normally sleep, but he's not going anywhere in his current state. I talked to him for a while and he seems unstable. Years of serving the Triumvirate will do that to you, I guess. Even after I told him what Hal was, he still lives in ignorance. Well, maybe ignorance isn't the right word. He knows what the Triumvirate is and still chooses to serve them. You know, I wonder how the people react when they find out. Algus knows and chose not to rebel or fight back. Maybe our victory here will just be the start of another battle. Not literally, of course, but we'll fight to show everyone the truth. He shifts, almost like he's feeling a bit uncomfortable. I have to ask you something, though. If the people don't respect your rule, what will you do? Will you work hard to earn it, or will you demand it through fear? Yeah, I think I'm just gonna fucking, be a stone fist ruler, or an iron fist ruler, and just fucking beat the shit out of everyone. I'd work hard and earn it the right way. Good, that's what I like to hear. We can't resort to methods used by our enemy. If we did that, then nothing would change in the end. Just don't go down in history as a pushover. Even the best ruler needs to put their foot down, you know? You wish someone would iron fist you? That sounds like a you problem. I think they have apps for that, though. Like Craigslist. Trying to give everybody what they want would just drive you mad. He shrugs, realizing it's probably a good idea to change the subject. We need to secure a victory before deciding what we do with it. It's clear that he wants to avoid talking about the upcoming battle. This makes me wonder who the Triumvirate really is. They aren't gods, and I doubt that they made the Blade of Exodus. There's a chance that they're just like us, using power to achieve their goals. And they say that power corrupts. You've heard that, right, Pants? What if they're just like us in the past? What'll happen next? Will we just go on to become tyrants that the people despise? I shake my head. We wouldn't stoop so low. Nobody starts their journey at the peak power, Pants. The Triumvirate wasn't born into this role. They fought for it. It's even likely that they took down foes of their own, too. But what foe would that be, and what was their goal? What I'm trying to say is, I think the blade should be destroyed. Once we achieve our goal, we have no use for it anymore, right? If you keep it, you risk relying on its power, and I don't want to see what that does to you, Pants. Not if it's even anything close to what it's done to our enemies. I don't see any reason to keep it around after the war's over, so tell me, if you get the chance to destroy it, will you? Yeah, I was totally gonna destroy it, haha. Good, there's no place for a weapon like that in this world. I'd feel like whoever wields it will be led down a dark path. I'd just hate to see what happened to you, I really would. This away from me, sad. I just want to know what kind of hands the world will be left in. I'm just asking you these questions because I'm scared, you know? I might not survive the battle, I might not live to see your reign. That much was true, even my survival wasn't guaranteed. I'd hate to lose each other after how far we've come, but we're about to fight the Triumvirate, so it's a real possibility. All we really can do is launch the final attack with no regrets at all. Now I have my fair share of regrets, that much is certain, but with your help I'd like to put some of them to rest. I wanted to do so back in Alarinthia, but I was scared. Back in Alarinthia? What does he mean? You know that I have this fear of physical contact. When I saw everybody on the dance floor, I got jealous. It seemed so easy, so natural for them. Why couldn't I do that? They all looked so happy together. It was simply magical, and here I am scared. I'm denying myself the pleasure of that magic. If I keep doing that, I told myself I'd die before I got the chance to feel it. But I want to feel it, Monarch. I want it more than anything. Why does the simple thought of it make me shake in fear? What did I do to deserve this? Why can't I be happy like them? Because you're fighting God, idiot. I tell him that he can, he just needs to be brave enough. There may not be any music here, but I hold out my hands. I ask him if he's willing to try just once before the end of it all. Looks down at his own hands and I see them tremble. I know he's scared, but I tell them that I'm terrified as well. We could die without ever knowing each other's touch. You're right, I could never live with myself if that happened. I want to know what it feels like, just in case I never get the chance again, so here we are, back in Alarinthia, that music is playing in our ears. One second. Let me get some, I smile with a nod as he places his hands in mine. He's shaking and scared. His eyes tear up, but he's smiling. Without saying a word, I pull him close and hold him tight. I let him tame his emotions on his own. It takes a while, but his shaking slowly subsides. He's crying, but I can tell that it's not out of fright. We sway from side to side as if we were dancing. Our bodies are in sync with a melody that neither of us can hear, but you can hear it. It's a beautiful moment, and it belongs to the two of us, as it will forever. I love you. Damek sniffles, and he rests his head against his shoulder. Against my shoulder. I'll say that I love him too, and hold him even closer to my body. Just like that until he's ready to leave. I've never seen him so happy. If he survives, then we'd spend our lives together in a similar happiness. This is the pledge I made to him as I see him off to prepare for the end. Bye-bye, honey. Go die. You are dying now. Goodbye. Spend some final time with Ulrich. As I'm lost in thought, a knock at the door jolts me awake. Without hesitation, I open it up and Ulrich steps inside. He seems calm. He's seen a ton of battles in his lifetime. Hey, Prince. I just want to come see you. We won't be getting much sleep tonight after all. It's true, and I don't blame anybody for it, especially Ulrich. We are fighting his former masters. This would be harder on him than it would be for us. I can't stop thinking about our visit to Alarinthia. You know, I broke your nose and I feel awful about that. But I couldn't let you get in the way, compromise our plan. It needed to come down to just Pro and myself. It's the only way that we could guarantee our victory. I guess I came here seeking your forgiveness. I feel foolish, though. Your forgiveness was implied when you removed that curse from me. I mean, you wouldn't do something like that if you resented me, right? But still, having it implied is not the same as hearing you say it. I could tell what he's after, so I tell him that he's forgiven. To be honest, it was the last thing on my mind right now. My nose was already healed after being busted up into 1,000 pieces. If it secured us our draconic alliance, it was worth it. That's the thing, though. Forgiveness shouldn't come so easy. When you're on the throne, you'll need to learn how to punish. I lied to you. I hurt you. I shouldn't deserve your forgiveness. Then why did you come here asking for it? Get out! I tell him that he deserves forgiveness because he meant no ill will. MC is a godless hooer. True. I did read on Steam discussions that the game is intentionally designed that you can just fuck everyone and not get punished for it. And my monogamous side is like, bro, why? But my I don't want to repeat content for the sake of like, oh, so-and-so found me banging so-and-so, and now all my progress is down the turlet. So I'm like 50-50 on that choice. Anyway, it does make me a godless hooer, though. He did what he did out of necessity to help further our cause and win. I guess what I'm trying to say is, you're lucky it was just your nose. In that moment, I would have done whatever I deemed necessary, Pants. But given the opportunity, I would do it again. I would go as far as I needed. Yeah, well, why don't you say that, while we're fucking, idiot? Do you still think I'm worthy of your forgiveness? Who knows what I might have to do during the final battle. The fate of the world is in the balance. I can't hold back. What's gotten into him all of a sudden? He's acting odd, but I try not to bring it to his attention. For all I know, he's just anxious about the upcoming battle. But still, I tell him that he's forgiven. I can't hold him accountable for things he hasn't done. What he has done, however, he's more than made up for. Alright, as long as we're both on the same page. I expect the same from you. Don't hold back in any way. If I'm in danger, don't stop to help me. You have your goal. He wants me to just leave him for dead? I know what I was getting into when you remove my curse. I'm vulnerable for the first time in thousands of years. But while I'm vulnerable, I also feel alive, Pants. It's amazing how much the possibility of death can motivate us. In some ways, that's what drives us to accomplish our goals. Without some sort of end, there's no time for us to seize. You would know better than me. I don't think he even knows how old he is. At that point, the years would start to blur together. His demeanor makes sense now that he's facing his mortality. His actions have consequences that could affect the rest of his life. In the past, no matter what he did, he could just outlive repercussion. I tell him I'll do it. I'll leave him behind, only if it's necessary. I do have my goal, but part of that is ensuring that my comrades stay alive. The pledge seems to satisfy him enough, and he changes the subject. Thank you, Pants. I knew you'd be strong enough to make the tough decisions. Since we met, I've seen nothing but a capable ruler in you. And that was before the attack on Rebel HQ. Remember back in Valinor, when we were at Peregrino? You've been leading this world for much longer than you think. I have to say, I agree with your choices. Keeping Peregrino as a tavern, I thought about that for a while. Anybody who values alcohol that much is good in my books. He smiles at me and places a hand on my shoulder. I look back on times like that, I realize how far we've come, complete strangers to lovers, and it all happened so fast. I wasn't expecting it, but that's how I know it's real. Some people pursue love like it'll make them whole, but that's not right to place a burden like that on somebody else. I think you can only really enjoy love when you have loved yourself first, or when you love yourself first. And that's what you helped me do, Pants. It's like, the more I know about you, the more I know about myself, and I want to stop learning. I want it for the rest of my life. I'm just grateful that now it's a life I deem worth living. If I don't lose it on the battlefield, then I want to spend it with you. Being able to grow old and say goodbye, it's an odd thing to desire. When you lose the ability to die, you start to miss it. In fact, you can almost forget what it's like to feel alive. I did, at least until I first laid eyes on you. Oh, stop it. You're not gonna sweet talk me like that, Ulrich. He takes the hand off my shoulder and laughs. I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead. Don't want to give away my wedding vows. This is actually some prime material now that I think about it. Pulling me into a hug, he places a kiss on the top of my head. Let's continue this after the battle, alright? Unfinished business is just one more reason to survive. In times like these, we need as many of those as we can get. I nod and see him out of my room. Seems a bit different, but I don't blame him. Anybody would change when given the ability to die. I'm just thankful that he's staying optimistic about it. It makes me realize that he really wanted it. It wasn't a hasty decision. And with that optimism, I know he'd survive and live a long, happy life. Thank God. We've managed to make it through without incident. My Twitch account lives to see another day until I click yes here, maybe. Let's find out. A knock sounds at my door and I open it without hesitation. Fortame is there. He looks a bit upset, so I invite him inside. Looking around the room, he lets out a loud and anxious sigh. Yeah, just straight up bogged. Forgot who the fucking new CEO of Twitch is. Clancy. Hello, Clancy? I got him. I'm gonna be honest, Pants. I'm scared, terrified. I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, climbing the Triumvir's castle? That's insane. Not to mention that the entire battle hinges on my success. I have those metallic claws, but I don't know how much they'll help. Their castle's probably made of stone like this library is. He starts pacing around the room with extreme worry. What if I fall? What if I get shot by an arrow? If anything gets in the way, I might not be able to do this. I require extreme focus, you know? This is too much. I can imagine that climbing during a battle is hard. Normally, the only danger you'd have to worry about is falling off, but during this, he'd be a huge target for any archers nearby. Sorry to come here and panic like this. It could end up being our last night together after all. There are probably way better ways to spend it than this. He stops pacing around and stops right in front of me. Taking slow breaths, I can tell he's trying to calm down. I let him have his time, and he's back to normal pretty fast. You know, I've been thinking about what I should do after the war. I think I want to move to Museo. I want to help the nation reform. It's been hurt so much, even by our parents. It deserves happiness. Valessa has her calling as the next elder of Valinor. I'd be a scribe if visions weren't becoming a thing of the past. And at the end of the day, it seems like the smartest choice for me to make. That is, if I don't die during the battle tomorrow. I know what you're going to say is, don't worry, you'll be fine. I wish that were true, but it's not. We need to be realistic here. I fucking suck at climbing, dude. I'm going to fall. There's a chance that we could lose this war tomorrow. There's a chance that all of us could die. A really big chance. We're not immortal. We need to face the facts and not live in denial. They're all out there in the atrium with so much confidence, but I know that deep down inside they're scared too. We all have something that we're afraid of, you know? He steps forward and wraps his arms around me. I can feel him tremble. I return the hug with a tight squeeze. Ooh, yeah! You know, it's not death that scares me, Pants. It's the thought of never seeing you again that pains my heart. I don't want to lose you. I've never been so scared in my life. I tell him that I'm not planning on going anywhere. After the war, we can settle down together and be happy with Ulrich and Damek. You can't be certain of that, though. Just like I can't be certain that I'll survive. All we can do is try and hope for the best. So promise me one thing. No heroics, okay? No grand acts of sacrifice. No trading your life. The world needs you after the war. I need you. She starts shaking lest we break the hug, but I agree and tell him I'll try my best to comply. The thought of a world without you is almost too much to bear. I love you. I'll always love you. I just hope we get a happy ending. After all we've been through, I think we deserve it, don't you? I nod and tell him that I love him too, just like I told Ulrich and Damek. A smile appears on his face and he immediately calms down. I don't want to lose him either. I'm filled with all the same frights. I guess we'll find out all this out in a few hours anyway, right? It's almost sunrise and the battle shouldn't be too long. Let's change the subject. I've worried enough. He strikes a thinking pose and remains silent for a few moments. Oh, here we go. If we win, we'll have a huge party. A party that the world will talk about forever. We can give everybody a bazillion apples. I smile, being happy that he is happy. Tell him that we will have the biggest party the world has ever seen. And if we try our best and work together, we'll win this battle with ease. Sweet, then I can't wait. I'll let you get back to what you're doing, Pants. This isn't goodbye after all. We'll be seeing each other again for sure. He leaves my room with a smile, a direct counterpoint to how he entered. That brings a sense of ease. We needed to have a clear head right now. It's almost time for the attack. I should make wise use of the time I have left. Well, that's all the time I have left. Would you like to end the journey? Yep. You die. The end. I descend the stairs of the Grand Library, the crisp Baltean air assaulting me. Get the fuck down, idiot. I shiver and stand in disbelief at how uninviting the city seems to be. If this is where I'd sit on the throne, we'd need to change a lot. Looking around the area, it appears that everybody is here. I try to take a head count just to make sure that's correct. This was the final attack. We needed all of our might. I see Damek shaking hands with the Monarch vessels. Good, they helped us secure victory and survived. They'd be a valuable asset in holding the town square. It was nice to see their full potential finally realized. With their incredible resilience, they outsmarted an enemy horde. It was in this exact moment that I knew I made the right choice. Wow, I actually made the right choice. Holy shit. When I make it to the bottom of the stairs, Damek waves me over. Our forces run around, seemingly taking on an infinite number of tasks. Everybody's doing something. It made everything seem more final. I could tell that this was the last time I'd see a lot of these people. There was no way we'd make it through this without any casualties. Good thing they don't have faces, though. Trying to tune out the final preparations and make my way to Damek. Good to see you, Pants. I'm afraid there isn't much time to talk. We can't deny it. The attack has begun. The honor guard should realize we're here momentarily. After that, this area and the town square will be a war zone. Anybody who has an objective elsewhere should be leaving. Just as he says that, Pro walks by. La-ni-da. Damek calls out his name and he quickly runs over. That's right, he was tasked with causing a distraction in the castle. Hey Damek, I was just about to leave. With Grizz too, I presume? Yes, of course. You know me, I'd never forget anything. You're in for the distraction of a lifetime, Pants. He smirks at me, a confident, cocky smirk. If he followed through, then I'd find no resistance. I guarantee you, because I didn't romance Pro, I'm going to get backstabbed by him and die. It should be smooth sailing when we get to the castle. Hey, Pro, before you go... He holds out his hand and it trembles softly. It's been an honor serving with you. I hope I see you again after this is over. He shakes Damek's hand with a firm grip. Trust me, the plunder's been all mine, and I don't plan on dying. Too much writing to do. The handshake is broken and they give each other uneasy smiles. The kind of smile that acknowledges that they may never see each other again. And soon after that, Pro is on his way, off to face his fate directly and unafraid. I guess you should get going too, Pants. Don't worry, I have more protection than I'll ever need. Our rebel forces, the Monarch vessels, and the Draconic army. No matter what they throw at us, we'll be able to handle it. The true deciding factor in all this is you and that blade. Be careful, rely on your comrades, and you'll win this for sure. He places a hand on my shoulder. I know you can do this. Now, we just need to cause a distraction. All those who should be focusing on me. If all goes as planned, you should find minimal resistance. Save your strength for the triumvirate. I think you'll need it. Anyway, don't worry about me. I'll have Hal by my side. Looks around, confusion worn on his face. Speaking of which, where is he? He should have been out here ages ago. Before I can even respond, I hear a loud cracking noise. Turning to see the source, I see the door to the library is smashed open. Galgus is shoved through, landing face first on the stone, still tied up. Smoke billows out of the open door as Hal exits the library. Algus struggles on the ground, squirming like some sort of insect. A blaze as bright as the sun itself makes Hal look like a silhouette. Hal, what are you doing? Upon hearing Damek, he steps forward and grips Algus by the hair. Raising him to his knees, he looks down in horror at our massive army. It was almost as if in that moment he knew he was on the wrong side. We've come here to destroy the Triumvirate and all they stand for. Don't tell us you're backing down now that the moment is upon us. We all stare in awe as Hal pulls out a dagger, holding it in his free hand. The smoke and bright illumination revealed to us one frightening fact. Hal had torched the inside, burning the books and his culture. No, of course not. I would never give up when we're so close. Come down here, Hal. Explain yourself. Hal shakes his head, disobeying Damek's order, running the dagger along Augustus' throat. He then kicks him down the stairs. A trail of blood follows him all the way down, steaming against the cold snow. The monarchy is dead. The monarchy is dead, Damek. Do not cling to memories like us. He slowly descends the stairs, the crimson dagger dripping in blood. As the flames shoot out of the front door, Hal's face is finally lit up. It appears devoid of all feeling, even after what he had done. Hal, stand down. Damek immediately draws the sword, holding it towards Hal. Stand down? All we've done is carry out our orders, kill the Triumvirate and their supporters, correct? As our servant, August deserves the same fate. Damek's arm trembles, realizing Hal was right. And we needed a beacon to lure the honor guard to the square. A beacon that no matter how hard they try, they cannot put out. Burning the library made sense. They are not permitted inside. Do not mourn for what has already been lost, Damek. The honor guard will be here in just a few moments. Yeah. Preparing your army would be a much better action. Hal throws the dagger onto the ground. The battle for Alessia has begun, and I have made sure of it. The battle for the WWF Intercontinental Championship has begun. Yeah. Damek lowers the sword, letting out a loud sigh. Hal was right. Alga served the enemy, making him an enemy. And the beacon was paramount to our success. It could not be put out. I don't believe this. Hal finally makes it to our location and stands beside us. He shrugs, almost like this isn't a big deal at all. Drastic measures must be taken in order to ensure our victory. The righting of a long-dead culture is a small price to pay, yeah. You should be on your way, Pants. The time is now. He's right, I had to make my way to the castle. But as the mountain pass, I should find little resistance. Every suit of armor would soon be on their way to the library. Do not forget your comrades either. The success of your group will determine everything, yeah. Do not waver, do not falter. Your rule hangs in the balance, yeah. I nod. This was happening so fast. There it is again. But I could waste no time. We knew this was coming. We knew we'd have to take action. I start to walk away, but Damek calls out to me a moment later. Hey, be careful, okay? I want to see you there when we regroup in the atrium, and if all goes to plan, you'll be seeing me there too. I smile and nod. That would have to suffice as a goodbye. After I gather up Valessa, Ulrich, and full tame, we decide to head out. For tame, we decide to head out. Fuck. If we hurried, we could get through the town square before the suits came. In our haste, we say almost no words to one another. It was all happening so fast we forgot to talk. There was a silent agreement that the task at hand was more important, and knowing that any word could be our last, silence seemed more appropriate. Poop. Oh. Bro, they're burning down the fucking library? Hal knelt before his masters, more eager to serve them than he had ever been before. He looked up at them, awaiting their orders, perhaps the final orders they'd give. It would be up to him to lead the honor guard and ensure their victory today. Rise, Halin. It seems they seek to deceive us, but it's nothing we haven't seen before. Deception? That seems to be their strength. What will you have me do, masters? Man the atrium, stay in the castle. We shall let them exhaust their forces for now. When they come here, you can finish them off. You mean to fall into their trap? Doing so would make it our trap, Halin. Besides, their death will feed the blade even more. We need it as strong as possible when it is brought back to us. For what reason? Do you doubt us? No, of course not. I was merely curious, that's all. Then your curiosity will have to linger. You have your orders, Halin. Now see them out. In a few hours, everything should be over for good. Halin wondered, but for what side? Yes, whatever you say. When they arrive in the atrium, consider them dead. I will paint the walls with their blood, or else besmirch them with my own. Thank you, Halin. Now be on your way. We will send the honor guard to the town square to weaken them. There is no time to waste. The end of everything is upon us. Without a word, Halin is off on his way. In this moment, he truly became the Grand Inquisitor, the last line of defense between the Triumvirate and a weak insurrection. The end, or perhaps another new beginning. Steel yourselves, brothers. You know what's coming. They look at each other and nod. For the first time in ages, doubt fills their chambers. Thankfully, nobody was there to witness such a fault. Spooky. Pro and Grizz enter the triumvirate castle, careful not to attract attention. The staircase in the middle is the one that led to their chambers for sure. This meant they'd have to lure the honor guard off to the left or the right side. Paths on either side of the stairs lead to other sections of the castle. If Pro had to guess, he'd say that they led to living quarters or practice rooms. Much to their luck, a horde of honor guard was gathered at the base of the stairs. Alright. How can we lure them away? Think, Pro, think. You can do this. Not so loud, Pro. We need a plan before they find us. Let's look for something we can use as a distraction. Pro examines the area, noticing large metallic stands holding lit candles. That would be sure to cause a distraction, but how would he use it? His eyes are drawn to large stained glass windows lining the hall. That'll do. That'll have to do. Come on, Grizz, let's do this already. Hopefully Pants isn't too far behind. He starts moving towards the candle holders, but Grizz grabs his shoulder. No, not that side. That leads to the dining hall and a dead end. You'd only be signing your own death warrant. Pro nods without a word, and they make their way to the other side of the room. They both grab one of the stands and shake off the candle at the other end. It hits the ground and the wax shatters in almost every possible direction. Hey, over here! In unison, both Pro and Grizz start breaking the windows with their weapons. The honor guard takes notice immediately and starts sauntering over. Pro grins, laughing softly at how easily it was to distract the suits. Perfect, now I just need to make a trail. Come on, don't let us get away! They run down the hallway, shattering window after window. A trail of broken glass is left behind for the suits to follow after. However, they move slow on purpose, keeping an eye on the horde. Yeah, I wonder what happens if, you don't have Grizz. Pro just probably fucking dies. Proper noun. Hal and Damek stand side by side in the town square of Balteus. They can hear the sound of the honor guard marching to their location. Echoes of steel grating in steel assault their ears as they wait. How many do you think there are? Not enough. Well, at least you're confident. Damek brushes some ash off of his shoulder. Remnants of the books of the library filled the air. From behind, one of their allies steps forward. They're almost here, I can tell. Be on your guard, I'll have my men protect you. Yes, of course, I appreciate it. I'll be watching their backs as well. Now all three of them were standing side by side. The footsteps of the honor guard got louder and louder. They stepped in unison, sounding like a heart that beat too fast. That's a weird analogy. It sounds like a clinical arrhythmia that you would, eventually succumb to. Reminds me of those drums in the Coliseum. Every time they played, I knew what the death would follow. Let's hope that it does, but not for any of us. If we are in danger, do not come to our aid, especially if it would endanger the lives of others. Remember, by all accounts, we are already dead. Vivian shakes its head. No matter what you say, you're an outline, believe it or not. I prefer to keep those alive. As long as you breathe, you're living and useful and of use. As they talk, the first of the honor guard comes into view. One stood in front of the rest, as if assigning themselves to the role of leader. It was odd, they all thought, that such a mindless suit had a sense of hierarchy. However, there was no time to think about such trivial things. Mere moments later, the rest of the suits gathered behind their leader. On the other side of the town square, it seemed like thousands had arrived. It appears that we may be outnumbered, but remember, those things aren't known for their smarts. Each one of us could easily take down 100 or more. Let's hope that you're correct. Weren't you the one who said they didn't bring enough? Damek gulps and draws the sword. Gulp, swing. Everybody behind him does the same. Gulp, swing. And the sound fills the town square. Gulp. Even from the opposing side, all they can hear is the unsheathing of blades and gulping. But when everybody is armed, nothing happens. They stand on opposite sides, both forces staring at each other like a middle school dance. Damek looks left and right to his allies before speaking out. It appears they want us to make the first move, probably so they can counter. That makes it easier. Just anticipate and come up with a count of your own. Even after his instructions, nobody makes a move. The ash in the air thickens, remnants of the monarchy showering over them. Damek takes a few steps forward and holds his sword up in the air. We fight to liberate those stuck under the triumvirate's thumb. In the name of all those who have fallen and all those who will come, a new future will dawn here today, one of happiness and peace for all. The soldiers cheer, holding their swords up in the air as well, but soon after they fall back down, resting in a fighting position. Damek says nothing, simply holding his sword towards the enemy, and that was enough to spring the army into action. Charging towards the honor guard, steel soon clashes against steel. Screams fill the town square as both sides meet and clash in the middle. Damek and Hal remain behind everybody, watching the initial charge. They'd wait for an ample opening and join their army at the right time. Hal places a hand on Damek's shoulder and gives him a soft nod. Damek, it's time. In response, he gulps, gulp, and looks up at Hal. Yeah, yeah, this is it. He catches a bunch of falling ash in his hand. After looking at it for a moment, he crushes it in a fist. Charge! And mere seconds later, they were lost in the crowd. With 3 minutes of playtime. We got to fucking make that joke when he said it's time. What the fuck, a dragon? We arrive at what seems to be the summit of the mountain pass. Though we took the long way around, I could still hear fighting in Balteus. Swords clashing against swords and the screaming of agony found only in war. We all spread out as soon as we arrive in the same spot. I was a bit ahead of everybody else, so I let them catch up. When they do, Fortame seems lost in awe at everything. Whoa, this is so cool! That statue, I've never seen anything like it! Ulrich, what is it? Do you have any idea? Ulrich turns to face the large, intimidating statue. Yeah, Alestia wasn't always fully mapped out. This is an artist's depiction of the Draconic people. At least, a depiction made in fright during first contact. First contact? Imagine being the first mainlander to arrive in Alarinthia. The people there reacted with hostility, attacking almost instantly. He is an unlucky man, and he fled almost as quickly as he got there. That sounds awful. Yeah, when he got back to Museo, he told everyone his story. But his account wasn't right. Fear can warp anything, you see. Even when he was proven wrong, the design still stuck. They're often used to scare away potential visitors, so it makes perfect sense that there'd be one in a place like this. It's guarding a shortcut that leads right to the Triumvirate's home. Well, it's not going to scare me away. I have the most important task of all. Ulrich nods as Fortame quickly walks over towards me. I could tell that he's frightened, but he looks hopeful as well. I promise you, I'll make it through this. You better be in that atrium waiting for me. No way we're failing now. This is the end. I nod, and a moment later we're locked in a tight embrace. Never forget that I love you, Pants. Even if all seems lost, that'll never change. Whatever happens next, we'll handle it as a team. We kiss, perhaps for the last time, in front of Ulrich, lewd. Well, I guess I should get going. I need to take a different path from the rest of you. I'm not used to being on my own, but I'll manage. Before he heads out, he hugs Valessa. They share a few words together, and then he's off on his way. His path would lead towards the tower, while ours would lead directly inside. I guess we should go too. The sound of all that fighting is really scaring me. One side has to be winning, but which one is it? It's best not to pay it any mind. We have our own task, Valessa. Right, of course. Want to lead the way? He nods and starts walking away from us. We gather together and follow him close behind. We're going to win this. I can feel it. I pray with every fiber of my being that she's right. After what seems like an eternity, the Triumvirate's castle comes into view. I've never been more terrified in my life. The end was finally within reach. Keep fucking saying that. Oh, the end is finally within reach. The end is here. It's the end. It's the end. This is the final battle. This is the end. Remind me again. Where am I? Who am I? Who are you? The castle is just as corrupt and decaying as everything else. Almost even more so, like it could be the source of all this death. As we get closer, I look all over the exterior. Then I see Fortame. He's climbing the tower just as directed. It's a sight to behold, considering we're all the way back here and he's already up there. What if it ends up being the beginning? Then I'll deal with it then. He's climbing... Yeah. If he could get to that bell tower, then the war would surely be ours. But I see him struggling. The castle is clearly his hardest climb. With no safety nets, any slip-up would be fatal. I try not to think about it as we arrive at the bridge to the castle. Much to our dismay, the bridge is completely covered in suits of armor. Who would have thought? They turn to face us as soon as we approach. A few seconds later, they start to march towards us. They're slow. Our presence took some time to register. Normally, I'd be confident. These things are easy to slay. But this was a veritable horde. Hundreds, maybe even 1,000. It must have been another group en route to the Burning Grain Library. Stay behind me. We use this bridge to our benefit. They can't get around us or sneak up from behind. It's almost like a funnel. This should be easy. Me and Valessa give Ulrich a firm nod. I don't know what a firm nod looks like. A moment later, he charges into the crowd. They stood no chance. Ulrich was too good at this. The suits start to crumble and fall apart as he crosses the bridge. Wide swings of his greatsword take out almost 10 at a time. But I notice a large portion of the horde at the back has bows. I shout out to him, letting him know of the danger. I know, but don't worry. These things have bad aim. Just grab one of those suits and use them as a shield. They'll wear out their numbers by killing their own. I suppose that's a good strategy. After I unsheathe the blade of Isidus, I step forward. My goal is to find a good opening so I can hop in and assist Ulrich. But no such opening comes. He's slaying them with unseen expertise. Me and Valessa notice the archers at the back prepare to shoot. Quick! Grab one! We both rush forward and each disarm one of the enemies. With no means to fight us back, we hold them in place. Any arrows coming our way would hit them first. A perfect plan, if that's actually what the archers were planning. Much to our shock, as the chaos on the bridge unfolds, they turn around. They're no longer aiming in our direction, they're aiming straight for Fortame. Fortame, look out! Her calls fall upon deaf ears. He was too far away to hear. There was no way for any of us to prevent what happened next. They let their arrows fly, some missed, but one pierces Fortame's side. He immediately starts to lose his grip, and it appears that he may fall off. There's nothing we could do. We can't call out to him or get up there to help. I have to do something quickly. They're preparing to shoot at him again. Quick, run along the side of the bridge. It should be wide enough to use as a path. Get back there and take out those archers. I don't take her suggestion to heart. I have my own idea. Running forward and pushing Ulrich out of the way, I ready my sword. They'd pay for hurting my friend. Every single one of them would pay. I thrust the blade towards one of the suits and then look over at Fortame. It was so weak and delirious. Moments later, he falls from the tower. That sight alone is enough to fill me with more rage than I've ever felt before. Activating the blade, that familiar flash of white light blinds all of us. I can hear my allies struggling, but as if they're still fighting while blinded. But a few seconds later, I hear nothing but the shattering of every suit of armor. Why didn't you just do that to begin with, you fucking idiot? As the light subsides, we're greeted to the sight of victory. Every member of the honor guard on the bridge was dead. I absorbed them into the blade, making it even stronger. Huh? Pants, did you do that? I nod. I tell them I used the emotion inside of me as a catalyst. The emotion from seeing Fortame fall, perhaps to his death. As we glance over to the tower, though, I see that I was wrong. He holds onto the edge of a window and struggles to climb inside. So he wanted to drop, to fall to a window to get inside to safety. I can see that his clothes are covered in blood from the arrow wound. Eventually he makes it inside and we're all relieved. For a few seconds there, it seemed like all hope was lost. He did just get shot for a fuck with an arrow, like whatever. Thanks for stepping in like that. My sword arm was starting to get a little tired. Come on, let's get going. We don't have much time. Ulrich and I smile at one another. Valessa, however, has a look of shock on her face. Oh no! We turn to face the same direction as her. She's looking back towards the town square and the bulk of the battle. Another horde is marching in our direction, likely attracted by the light. Just our luck. Ulrich readies the sword. We watch them walk towards us in unison. An unease fills the air. I doubt I could deactivate all of them. I only did that thanks to the surge of emotion from seeing Fortame shot. Just imagine it again, dude. It's fine. It wouldn't be right for me to rely on something like that yet again. Wouldn't be right? The fuck? Part of me wonders if we should flee inside and fight them off in the castle. We had no idea what awaited us inside, or if Pro was even successful. Valessa steps forward, standing in front of us. She trembles, perhaps terrified of what's to come. You need to go. What are you talking about? I said you need to go. Get inside the castle. Help Fortame. Kill the Triumvirate. Just do it. Let me keep them occupied. I'll fight them off. I can't let you throw your life away, Valessa. We don't have any other option. Pants needs you in there, Ulrich. Right now, I'm the only expendable one. She is right. No, you're not expendable. We need you. Let me stay and fight. I know how those things work. If you give me some time, I can take them all down. This isn't up for debate. Sorry. You need to go, and fast. Ulrich backs down, realizing there's no point. Each second needed to be filled with action, not inaction. If we wasted time, we'd just hand victory over to the enemy. Alessa crouches down and picks up an enemy sword. Not using the bow on her back, she swings it a few times, testing its weight and then nods. My mind tells me to talk her out of this, but I say nothing. If she fought hard enough, she'd be able to survive. Though suits are weak and mindless, I feel like she'd be okay. I justify her choice in my mind, perhaps because I know it's inevitable. She wraps her arms around me and gives me a tight hug. I know that this may be the last time we see each other, and it hurts. We've come so far since our time in Valinor and changed so much. Thanks for everything you've done, Pants. I tell her to stay safe and survive. A moment later, the tight hug is broken. Oh, is that an order? Yeah. I guess I have no choice. I've never disobeyed, and I'm not about to start. I'll meet you in the atrium after Fortane rings that bell. And a moment later, we're both off in opposite directions. But as we head towards the castle, I can't help but look back. I'm both worried and hopeful, and both sides are at war. I see her charge into the crowd, holding out the sword. She starts swinging it, taking out a ton of suits with her strength. They fall apart and hit the ground with loud thuds. She was doing this, and then she died. Come on, I could do this all day. With a smirk on my face, I realize that her victory is clear. It's not. However, a moment later, I'm shocked at my arrogance. Much like before, the rear of the horde readies some bows. I had to warn her. I shout to her and start to run towards her. However, Ulrich grabs my arm, stopping me. Way to get inside, Pants. There's no time to waste. You have to trust her. She volunteered for this. She knows what she's doing. I struggle some more, but his grip is far too strong. I yield and follow Ulrich into the castle, still looking back. The next thing I see, it will forever be etched into my mind. The archers let their arrows loose and several hit Valessa. She screams and stumbles back, blood marring her outfit. She doesn't give up. She keeps fighting with all of her might. They let their arrows loose again and she's pierced even further. Nobody has survived such blows, but she fights on with determination. A pool of blood gathers beneath her, and that's the last thing I see. She may continue fighting and buying time, but those wounds were fatal. We retreat fully into the castle, and the gruesome scene is soon out of view. Anger wells up within me. Whoever opposed me next, I surely pitied them. Rip. Eventually, Pro and Grizz's path led them to a large hallway. Plenty of open space to fight and destroy the horde in pursuit of them. The distraction worked perfectly. Now they just had to deal with the company. Pro, what weapons do you have? Grizz readies his large warhammer. Daggers, my favorite. Up close and personal. He draws them and stands beside Grizz. So, you fought these things before? Yeah, plenty of times. It'll be a piece of cake, trust me. Right. A few moments pass and the honor guard finally catches up with them. The horde seems to have tripled in size. Everything was going their way. At this rate, the monarch would have almost no opposition at all. Be mindful of where you stand, Pro. If this hammer is good at anything, it's crowd control. I don't want to hit you while I'm fighting off the enemy. Yeah, I got it. I'll stay low and out of your way. Grizz nods and they stand side by side as enemies fill the room. Ready? Pro gulps. Gulp. Let's do this. They charge into the crowd and the fight begins. That's a badass warhammer. Grizz kind of got the OD design. Like, and he's just fucking, like, optional character. Pro makes sure to stay below shoulder height as Grizz swings his hammer. He takes out about 10 or more suits with every swing of that mighty weapon. Pro rolls on the floor, taking them out with precise stabs to the abdomen. Shattering like glass, the suits are falling at a rate that guarantees their victory. Both men pant from exertion as they fight what was hopefully their last fight. For peace and all of Alestia, all they had to do was prevail. As the crowd thins out, they press their backs against one another. The enemies may be swinging their swords, but they landed no hits. So this is what I was meant to do. Huh? Grizz swings his hammer, taking out 10 more. Then seconds later, they're back to back once again. Back in Mazeo, I was ready to throw my life away, you know, to atone for what I did in the Triumvirate's name. I'm glad that I didn't. I was meant to end them, not myself. Pro smiles at his ally. I'm glad you made the right choice then. He lunges forward, continuing to kill the suits of armor. Grizz scoffs, a wide smile appearing on his face as he fights. No, not me. It's all thanks to Pants. The battle continues, but the enemies stood no chance. They were killing the suits faster than they entered the room, and after what seemed like an eternity, they entered no more. Pro falls to his knees, struggling to catch his breath. Even Grizz seemed winded as well. What a thrilling dance that was. However, as they learn moments later, it's not yet come to an end. Another group of hordes starts making its way into the large hallway. They laugh. Of course it wouldn't be as easy as they thought. Charging into the crowd again, the fight continues, almost endless. There's too many of them. We need to do something, and fast. There's nothing we can do. Just stand your ground. Keep fighting. The swings and stabs become weaker with each passing moment. What was once a certain victory is now falling apart in the face of exertion. They don't give up, never accept defeat until the very end. Take note, foot fetishists. That was the first rule of any good gambler, and with their lives as chips on the table, they continued to play, the floor becoming a sea of white and gold in the wake of their rage. All they had to do was pray that they didn't drown in it. Drown in it! As their strength dwindled, they kept fighting, never giving up. That determination saw them through, right to the bitter end. Damn, I can't believe they died. Valessa gets murdered in the most gruesome fashion, and then Pro just fucking dies off screen, whatever. Hal is completely surrounded, fighting to the best of his efforts. A one-on-one fight would be no problem, but this was too much. In total, there must have been tens of thousands of honor guard here. Fighting with his fists, he punches the suits of armor into pieces. He preferred to use his own body as a weapon rather than anything else. Other people fought with extensions of their body, but he needed none of that. One thing was for sure, he couldn't keep this up forever. With the power the monarch absorbed, he was mortal, invulnerable. However, he used the sense of dread in order to fight with more determination. Damek was nowhere to be seen, but Hal hoped that he was still alive. There were so many suits of armor that it was impossible to keep track. One stray arrow, one thrown dagger, or one sneak attack, and it was over. As he punched through the suits of armor, he finally saw an ally. Changing the direction of his assault, he fought his way towards them. Greeting him with a smile, it was a relief to see a friendly face once again. Hal, watch out! Vivian jumps behind Hal, taking out a suit that was sneaking up on him. Thanking his ally, Hal responded by doing the same, but behind Vivian. No matter where they stood, there was always an enemy in pursuit. Arrows fly overhead every few seconds. The enemy archers were skilled. Hal couldn't see, but he knew that those arrows hit home on his allies. With his back pressed against Vivian, their rears were finally protected. Vivian, status report. How are you men doing? Not good. Last time I checked, there's just too many of them, Hal. All we can do is wait for that bell to ring. And if it doesn't? Vivian lunges forward, taking out several suits of armor. Then, a moment later, he presses his back against Hal again. This is it for us. The despair in his voice was clear. They could keep fighting, but things were looking bad. Even if each man killed 100 suits, they'd still be outnumbered. Hal shakes his head, freeing himself from the onslaught of ash. The library is still ablaze, rained remnants of the monarchy upon them. The honor guard seemed unimpeded by this, but not the rebellion. It was almost as if when the suits fought together, they shared one mind. This caused them to be weak on their own, but formidable as a group. However, it meant that the more they killed, the weaker the enemy became. Vivian, do not give up so easily, yeah. You are set to rule the strongest nation in the world, yeah. You have the Alorinthian belt around your waist, yeah. We cannot have you return home with stories of lost hope. As they talk, they keep fighting. The enemy never lets up for a second. Then we better find it again and fast. Arrows fly through the air once more, and screams fill the air. They knew their forces were dying. The suits had no need to scream. Hal wasn't even sure if they felt pain or feared their own demise, and he wondered if those things would be a weakness or a strength. His knuckles become bloody and cracked as they fight for their lives. They continue to protect each other, fighting as if they were one body. We need to change up our strategy. If we don't, then they'll outsmart us. Vivian didn't respond. He was dead. Vivian? Hal turned around to look, and Vivian falls limp to the ground. A small legion of arrows found their home in his body. There's nothing he can do. The shots were fatal. With unseen archers targeting his location, he needed to run. He's vulnerable from every angle, and he had no choice but to fight. He looks around frantically to find the archers, but it's no use. All he can do is face the enemy and his fate head on. Charging into the crowd with a scream, rage wells up within him. There are no allies to be seen, just target after target waiting to be killed. And that's what happens next. He shatters the enemies like weak glass. They fall to the ground, leaving a trail of carnage in his wake. He had killed more than his fair share and still went on. Eventually a barrage of arrows assaults him. Piercing through his torso, it caused him to grunt in immense pain that he doesn't feel. He does his best to shake it off, but it's almost too much to bear. Now that the excess spirits were removed from his body, he was mortal. Because of that, he lets the arrows stay inside of his body. Pulling them out would be nothing short of a death sentence. But so too was rushing headfirst into a horde of those suits. All of a sudden, it's harder for him to keep track of everything happening. Confusion sets in, and he starts longing for his ally to return and help him. But even if they did come back, they would arrive a moment too late. He turns around looking for more enemies, and one is right there. They thrust their longsword deep in his gut, and he stumbles back. Then quickly lunges forward, destroying the suit with a harsh punch. More suits crumble down around him, and miraculously, he's still fighting. It was miraculous that he was still standing. He fought on with fervor. Stay miraculous again, motherfucker, and see what happens. However, the archers from before were prepping another shot. Moments later, his back is full of arrows as they hit their target. His body starts to feel numb, and he falls to his knees with a cry. The honor guard surrounds him, and he's too weak to fight back. In his current state, all he can do is stand his ground and seek mercy. Yet he chooses not to. He'd never accept defeat without putting up a fight. He takes out a few more suits before they start to fight back. Perhaps they're giving him a chance to surrender and accept death. However, such an opportunity has passed, and swords soon assault him. They work quick, covering Hal's entire body with wounds, which it already was, but there's more of them now. He falls down to the ground, trembling from the intense pain. He's not dead yet, somehow. Blood pools around him, spilling until there's nothing left to spill. Then the honor guard walks away, realizing they had won. Hal lays there, looking up at the sky and the steadily falling ash. It covers him, and he becomes one with the remnants of his people. Well, that was obvious. I think we all knew that Hal was dead. Fortane pants heavily, panicking with an arrow in his side. He knew that if he pulled it out, things would only get worse. I'm glad that everyone just knows that in this world. It would be best to keep it inside until he could find some help. It wouldn't be fatal, so that gave him great relief on its own. Hiding in a spare room he found, he needed to take a breather. It was perfect timing as Sue started to scurry around outside. He can't be too far away. How high up does the castle even go? He shakes his head, realizing there's only one way to find out. But as he goes to sneak out of the room, he bumps into a table. A bottle of wine falls off the side and shatters with an echo. His entire body tenses up as he hears the honor guard stop moving. He runs to the other side of the room and hides behind a curtain. It would have been easy to sneak around them if not for the wine. Now, every single suit of armor in that hallway would know he's here. He remains as still as possible as one of them enters the room to scout. The suit kneels down to inspect the broken glass, then looks over to the curtain. His cover was blown. He made a small trail of wine with his footsteps. Definitely not the blood from his open wound. He holds his breath as the suit of armor makes its way to his location. Then a few moments later, it plunges its sword right into the curtain. Fortane dodges to the left, then rips the curtain down from the wall. Wrapping it around the suit of armor, he has a strong chokehold. He hesitates for a few moments, then snaps his enemy's neck. It's a suit? They have no neck? The suit crumbles, but has nowhere to fall, being held together by the curtain. He slowly rested on the ground. This is his first real fight, his first kill. If he survived to ring the bell, he knew he would never be the same. He slowly unravels the curtain and grabs the sword belonging to the suit. As soon as he does, more of them enter the room to check up on their ally. Fortane wondered if they felt emotion, if they'd mourned the suit he killed. They drew their swords, but Fortane wasn't sure what prompted it. Anger at their dead ally, or perhaps blind loyalty to the triumvirate. He'd never know, and in that moment he realized it was for the best. Sword clashed against sword as he fought for his life. But not just his, almost everybody else's lives were at stake too. They were relying on him to ring that bell, and he couldn't let them down. All he had to do was survive. I wonder if not doing Valesa's loyalty thing made it so I didn't trust her judgment, which leads to Fortane getting shot, which leads to them not ringing the bell, which leads to Hal dying. That'd be some bullshit. When we get inside the castle, I notice that it's completely empty. Pro must have been successful, otherwise this place would be full. I'm thankful, but unable to find happiness, not after losing Valesa. Sure, I didn't see her final moments, but she was dead. You probably have to romance everyone for the best ending, or at least do their loyalty scene. There's no way somebody could survive an attack like that. My friend, one of my first friends, I'm in complete disbelief. Hey, snap out of it. We need you in good shape. I know what you saw out there, but she could still be alive. If we just stand here moping, then we might as well surrender. I shake my head. He was wrong, and I knew it. Valesa was dead, and I had to learn to accept that. I start walking towards the stair, wanting nothing but revenge. Hey, not so fast. You should let me take point. I know the layout of this castle and where to go. It gets a bit confusing up there. Trust me on that. Confusing? How so? Let's just say there's lots of stairs coming up. And be careful, alright? We don't want to fall into a trap. We're in their territory now. An ambush would be child's play. Now, a second later, somebody enters the room from the opposite side. It's that man from our HQ, the one with Sophie, clad in white and gold. He descends the stair, laughing at us. A horde of suits follows. Ambush? No, I don't play cheap, not like Sophie. I'd merely like to call this a welcoming party of sorts. An ambush isn't unexpected. Surely you knew I'd be here. I unsheathed my blade and holed it out towards the enemy. There was no time to argue semantics with the likes of him. But, as if to guard me, Ulrich steps forward, getting in the way. Look, we don't need to fight you. I know what you are, a slave to the Triumvirate. We can fix that, Hallen. We can remove the curse. It would never work. Hallen was under their thrall. Even considering this offer would be an act of defiance. Instead of responding, Hallen disappears into the crowd of suits. Curse? You call this a curse? I embody the Triumvirate's will and command their army. You are the cursed ones. You fight for the dream of a fool. The suits of armor reach the bottom of the stairs, but Hallen is nowhere to be seen. We just hear his voice. He must have used the confusion of the crowd to escape. You stand in the realm of gods now. It is time that you spoke with your resolve. If it is strong enough, then you will find me. The honor guard draws their swords as Hallen's laughter fills the room. And if it is not, then you will perish. So do it. Show me the determination of your rebellion. Speak against your gods and see how they answer. At Hallen's command, the honor guard charges in our direction. Ulrich is the first to fight, using that massive greatsword to protect me, but I make sure to play my part, and I take them down with similar ease. The suits of armor stood no chance against the blade of Exodus, but in this case, they also stood no chance against Ulrich. I'm confident in our victory, but I try not to get too cocky. It seemed like there are almost 1,000 suits of armor here. Though we are doing good now, our bodies could easily weaken. A viable tactic: wear out your enemy with excessive numbers. As we fight, we find ourselves surrounded more and more. The honor guard seems to have herded us into a specific location. Standing back to back with Ulrich, we pant heavily, a panic rising within us. I have an idea, Pants. I tilt my head towards Ulrich, to signal that I'm listening. Much to my surprise, he sheathes his greatsword. Think of me an extension of your body. Open your mind and trust me. I'm confused, but I nod. There's no time to talk. They're closing in on us. I lunge forward and destroy one of the suits. Now it's my turn. The blade disappeared from my hand and appears in Ulrich's. He used it to slice through the suits that were closing in on him. As if passing a baton, the blade phases back into my hands. I haven't fought like this in ages. Really gets your blood boiling, doesn't it? We're pressed back to back and we keep exchanging the blade. Phasing it from person to person as needed. We're almost one mind. Why doesn't Hallen just fucking yoink it right now? He can just be watched back. And then, like, he wins. Congrats, you did it. Claps for you, Hallen. Like an intricately choreographed dance, we continue to fight. Takes me back to my time with Sophie. Perfect teamwork, almost unstoppable. With each passing second, we thin out the horde. Their numbers easily halve. And then they do so again and again. But then they get too close to zero, and we'll never be able to defeat them because they're infinitely approaching zero but never hitting zero. I let Ulrich take the blade again, and we keep passing it back and forth. I wish they had the courage to face us in person. All they could do is hide behind their mindless slaves. I could feel it. The Triumvirate was scared of us. In the end, all tyrants could do was cower in fright. They knew they had lost and mean to buy time. But that wasn't a luxury we were selling. As the last suit of armor falls, we too fall to our knees. Panting heavily, we realize just how much of a fight we put up. I'll never forget this moment, not for the rest of my life, which will be exactly 4.5 minutes. Fighting side by side with another Exodus wielder. If I were the Triumvirate, I'd be very, very afraid of these two people currently on their knees, panting for breath, after just destroying a bunch of soulless suits of armor with a Grand Inquisitor in their way. It feels like an eternity before I can rise to my feet again. When I do, I sheath the blade and I look over at Ulrich. He is staring at the stairs, our next objective. If we get into a bind, let's just do the same thing. That blade in our connection is our greatest weapon. I nod. And something tells me we'll be needing it when we face Hallen. Are you ready to go upstairs? He's all that stands in our way. I nod once more. Good, then let's go. Remember, if you get a chance, save him. I understand if you can't, but he deserves freedom. It's true, everybody deserves to be free from the Triumvirate. But Hallen wasn't willing. We'd have to force him somehow. And if we couldn't, then unfortunately I'd have to kill him. We make our way upstairs in pursuit of Hallen. After what just happened, I was certain we'd win this. With our strength combined, nothing could stand in our way. Except... the first thing I see is stairs. Lots of stairs. What the fuck is this? MC Escher Triumvirate? They lead upwards and in every conceivable direction. I know I was told there'd be lots of stairs, but this is insane. The second thing I notice is the complete lack of Hallen. Had he fled up those staircases? Had he fled? Is that actually like... Is that like proper grammar? Had he fled up those staircases? Where could he be? I'm assuming it's just a typo. Actually, I'm starting to wonder how he disappeared like that. If he was made from the blade, could he phase around as well? I hope that's not the case. That would prove far too tricky. However, due to his loyalty, I know we'd be in for a fight. The shrouded suits of armor and their swords lined the floor. This must have been the remnant of a previous fight. Perhaps 4-Tamer Pro came here before us. Be careful, Pants. This could be tricky. Remember that Hallen can wield the blade just like us. In fact, since he was made from it, his affinity could be stronger. He's backed in a corner, so we don't know how he'll react. I wouldn't be surprised if he resorted to some sort of trap. A cornered man is always desperate in his final moments. Oh, fuck 2 Ulrichs? I nod. That was good advice. I take it to heart as we walk towards the stairs. We hear Hallen's voice, but can't see him at all. Well then, perhaps you're stronger than I thought. No matter though, I've been waiting for a worthy opponent. I'll savor killing you, Monarch, every single moment. That's when I finally see him, on one of the many flights of stairs. He's slowly making his way down, almost as if he's buying some time. It's almost comical as he goes down 14 flights of stairs that get him down exactly 1 story. I move to meet him halfway, but suddenly there's no need to move at all. Pants, look out. Almost instinctively, I lower myself as close to the ground as possible. From behind, a massive sword is swung. It came closer, removing my head. I turn around, greeted to the sight of Hallen, so he can move around like that. Saved by your friends as always. I wonder how you'd handle things on your own. What do you say? Want to put that to the test? Ulrich steps forward, interrupting before I can respond. We don't have time for your games, Hallen. We'll give you one chance. Surrender or die. And who says you get to call the shots? Remember, I assist to manifest the Triumvir's will, and right now what they want is to see you all dead. Hallen draws another sword, holding out 2 large blades. I've never let them down, and I don't plan on starting. You think you're special? You think you're here to seize your destiny? No. You're nothing more than another insect for me to crush. You may have made it farther than most, but that doesn't matter. Even atop the highest mountain, an insect is still an insect. A being that exists for one person to be exterminated. He charges towards me, and I do the same. Pulling out the blade of Exodus, our swords clash as we meet. They meet again and again, and the echo filling the room as we fight. His strength is astounding, as well as his speed. I've never seen a man fight with 2 swords quite so gracefully, except for Pro with his daggers. He tries to trick me with fake swings and sudden movements. But I'll have to try harder than that. I counter him with ease. This dance continues, and we show no signs of tiring out. At this rate, death would come to whoever slipped up first. But I can't slip up. I have to win and take down the Triumvirate. This world belonged to me. I was the rightful heir to the throne. Hallen was just a lackey to some power-hungry group of 3. If there was any justice in the world, I would prevail. Perhaps I let that get to my head. This allows Hallen to land a blow. Thrusting his blade into my shoulder, he twists it, then pulls it out. It is a wound that would prove to be harmless in the long run. A sword in your shoulder that he twists and pulls out is harmless? Bro, you aren't moving your arm. But the pain is so intense, all I can do is stand there, stiff and motionless. My blood drips to the floor, and I take a few steps back, losing balance. Pants! Ulrich lunges forward and pushes me to the ground. Facing the blade into his hands, he blocks Hallen's next attack. I bleed on the floor as I watch Ulrich fight the Triumvirate's right hand, just like I did in the Colosseum after he put me on the floor and made me watch him fight. So you're certainly stronger than Sophie. It's a shame that you defected. I could use you. Defected? No, I simply chose the right path. And you can do that too, Hallen. It's not too late. Hallen laughs and they continue to fight. Swords clash, but Ulrich clearly has the edge. There's no passion in serving the Triumvirate. They take everything away. They bleed you dry, and what's worse, they give nothing in return. Finale, he says. I'm finishing this tonight. No, it's Friday, dude. I got time. At worst, I'll need some more water. Also, how you doing, Hobbs? The rebellion gave me everything I needed. A family, a home, a place in this world. I belong to them now, and that's final. Hallen shakes his head. You're a fool. They seduce you with flights of fancy. You run to the first group that made you feel a sense of purpose. Do you honestly think that he is the rightful ruler of Alestia? Ulrich nods. Without a doubt, I'd give my life for Pants. The truth of the spirit realm only proves that I'm correct. They told Sophie, and look what happened. Think, Hallen. I'm not weak. My loyalty is just different from yours. Well, I want to serve Alestia. You want to serve the Triumvirate. While you were studying the blade, I was studying the blade. But they made you that way. We can change you if you'll let us. They continue to fight as they argue with one another. No, I want to serve them. You run away while I stand tall and remain in line. How can you say that you're not weak after what you've done? Ulrich lowers his sword, signaling his intent to stop fighting. Are you willing to bet on that? Alan holds up his swords up to guard himself. Let Pants remove the curse that they put on you. If you still want to serve them, then we can continue to fight, and if not, then you'll realize that you were wrong all along. No, I can't. Alan looks scared, like he's fighting with himself. That moment of hesitation is all that Ulrich needs. He uses the pommel of the sword as a weapon. He's pretty good at that one. Smashing it into Hallin's head, he knocks him into a daze. He falls forward, but Ulrich catches him in his arms. Pants, do it now. I don't care what it is, just do it. He turns Hallin around and lowers him to his knees. Putting him into a chokehold, he tries to break free, but he's too weak. Blood drips down his face. Ulrich clearly wasn't holding back. There's no way Hallin could fight back right now. I could kill him with no difficulty at all, but I could also save him. If I removed the curse on his mind, maybe he'd serve our cause instead. But was that worth the risk? Something tells me I don't have much time to decide. Typical. If Ulrich held him like that for too long, he'd be dead for sure. We save here. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. I really gotta pee, and this is a good point to take a break. I'll be right back. Yeah, this piss is gonna happen too fast if I don't deal with it now. Alright. So we're saving Hallen, right? Fuck it. We save. I had to liberate Hallen. I had to let him survive and give him a chance. If he still chose to oppose us, then we could execute him after the war. But as long as his conversion was a possibility, I had to take a chance. To tell Ulrich to release the chokehold but hold Hallen in place. He obeys without hesitation. I slowly make my way over to him. Pressing the blade against Hallen's chest, I asked it to give him his freedom. A few seconds later, Hallen falls to the ground, unconscious. I have him carried over to a safe spot where he could recover in silence. If and when he woke up, I hoped that it would be as a new, smarter man. Now with that out of the way, we had to make our way up those stairs, all 47 flights of them. Within a few minutes, I'd be face to face with our enemy. It was time to rise to the challenge and change this world. Hey, before we head up, can you do me a favor? And don't question it, just trust me, okay? I nodded without hiding the fact that I'm a bit confused. Yeah, it's a surprise. Like, that's it. You saved him. Good job. Claps for you. Here. He reaches behind me and adjusts my scabbard. I'm not sure why, but he switches it to the other side. I'm not left-handed, so it only made things awkward. But I chose to trust him as always. Thank you. But he is left-handed. Unless, like, I'm assuming it's like this scabbard, not like this scabbard. And a second later, we're making our way up the stairs. All we had to do was dethrone the triumvirate. Simple enough. After that, I'd meet my friends in the atrium, at least the ones that survived. So, Pro's dead, Grizz is dead, Damix, question mark, we're probably about to find that out. Fortames, question mark. Damix fights for his life in the town square, surrounded by suits of armor. He's lost sight of all of his allies and is unable to tell if they're even alive. Still, he fights on. He'd never give up, not when he's this close to the end. That bell would surely ring any minute and bring an end to war. If the monarch followed through, then this world belonged to them. This is the fact that kept him fighting, even as his hope was lost. The fatigue started to settle in, making him move slower. As suits of armor fell, so did his strength and resolve. He was surrounded, fighting in every direction. Come on, Fortame. We can't hold the town square forever. And just then, an arrow pierces through his shoulder. He stumbles back and falls to his knee before pushing it out. The pain was minuscule compared to what he felt back in Lizeo. Rising up, he starts to fight with anger as well as determination. In a rage, he takes on the suits of armor even faster than before. Another arrow pierces his upper body, but nothing can stop him now. Keeping this arrow in, he grabs another sword that lay on the ground. Fighting with two of them, he's able to guard himself more efficiently. The suits of armor are arriving faster than he can kill them, however. Soon enough, he is surrounded by more suits than he could hope to kill. With no allies around to come to his aid, he knew that things were dire. If Fortame didn't ring that bell, then this could very well be his final stand. He throws the second sword to the ground and takes a deep breath. He was prepared to face his death. This somehow made him stronger. The pain from the arrow only served to push him to more extremes. I guess it's time. Jawarida. His fighting starts to become more desperate as tears blur his vision. The fact that he couldn't see any of his friends just hurt him even more. He had to assume that everybody around him had fallen during battle. Stay back, I'm warning you. He held out his sword as if to threaten. His hand trembles. The underguard did not heed his warning, and they close in on him. Having no choice but to continue fighting, he lets out labored grunts. Through his blurred vision, he is almost unable to make out anything. His saving grace is the contrast of the white suits over Balteus' decay. Using that as a guide, he's able to keep taking down his enemies. He tries fighting his way in the direction of the archers. Those were more of a threat to him than the suits with swords. In fact, he was certain those archers had killed quite a few men. And unfortunately, he may be the next one added to their count. An arrow is shot through his gut, and he screams, falling back. Not a grievous wound, but he is immediately caught off guard. Something smashes into the back of his head, and he collapses. Turning around, he sees the suit, holding a rock covered in his blood. An open wound to the back of his head starts staining the ground. What? He writhes on the ground in pain and confusion. The suit kneels down and grabs a sword from the ground. It is the same one that Damik had discarded moments earlier. He's surprised to see that the rest of the honor guard stands down, as if they acknowledge this one had deserved to deal the final blow. Damik cries, looking up in horror as the suit raises up the sword. But before they can follow through with their thrust, something happens. An arrow pierces through the suit of armor, and it crumbles to the ground. Damik looks around in confusion. Had an ally finally come to his aid? Damn it, give me your hand! Shane? Damn it cries out softly, not sure what's going on. Last time he saw Shane, he tried to kill him and basically succeeded. But here he was now, offering his hand. What was happening? Damn it, quick, you don't have much time! Damn it shakes his head, but then realizes he has no other option. Grabbing Shane's hand, he accepts the help and rises to his feet. He stumbles forward, almost falling back down, but he doesn't. He presses his back against Shane, still a bit delirious. This fucking back-to-back shit, dude. But his friend supports him as he draws a set of daggers. Confusion assails Damek because everything was happening so fast. There, we're even now. Damek nods. So, what do you say, Damek? Fight just like old times? Damek nods again and he raises his sword. A moment later, they both charge towards the suits of armor. Like a team and like friends, they fight together once more. Just keep it up, Damek. I'll patch you up as soon as we're safe. Shane, talk to me. Why are you doing this? But Shane doesn't answer, at least not before the bell is rung. A loud ringing fills the air, delivering the sound of hope to Damek's ears. Good timing. That's actually what the bell sounded like. Fortame had achieved his goal. This means that his allies still lived. Damek goes to keep fighting, but Shane holds him back. Damek, no! Look, it's over. The honor guard turns to stare at the source of the ringing. Then they throw their swords to the ground without hesitation. Starting to march away, they abandon all of their previous efforts. We did it. I can't believe this. Without a word, Shane just stands there along with Damek. Together, as the ash rains down upon them, they watch their foes flee. Damek smiles, a few tears running down his face. Was it really over? No, that wasn't the right way of looking at it. Things had just begun. The monarch had to finish it all. Damek looked in the direction of the castle, as hope rises within him. Vance, good luck. We're all counting on you. The town square is soon devoid of all foes, but now without obstructed vision, Damek can see all his allies. They raise their swords in the air and start cheering. Balteus was theirs. And soon, the lives of the triumvirs would be theirs as well. They cheer the monarch's name, and then that's all Damek can hear. But that's all he needed to hear, for the name of the monarch meant hope. Nice. He lived. I can't believe it. Bro, they smoking that fucking Zaza shit. They're smoking on that Valessa pack up here. The ringing of the bell echoes in my ears. It's almost deafening. I'm relieved to know that Fortame survived and succeeded. Me and Ulrich stand in the darkness and it's hard to see. Here, you'll be needing this. He hands me a torch that was hung against the wall. And watch your step as we go up those stairs. If we fall off the edge, well, you know how high we are. They got that loud up here. They're on that boot and his Shadow Guard and Grown Dark Evil pack. I nod, the thought filled me with fright. I hold out the torch and see the bizarre sight before me. The walls are lined with gears just like those on the blade. They spin and rotate in directions that they shouldn't. It makes no sense to me, but then again, neither does the blade, because I wasn't studying it. The gears on the base spun in a way that was impossible too. Fog lines the stairs leading up to the Triumvir's chambers. I was confident a moment ago, but this sight fills me with unease. I've never seen anything like it, and it's very concerning to me. I couldn't see off the edge of the stairs, and there is no railing. The slightest stumble could send me right back down to the atrium. I do need to go back there, but that's not the way I'd like to do it. I have a piece of advice for you, Pants. Don't let them talk to you. Just kill them, without question. All they'll do is try to justify their actions and earn your sympathy. They prey on the minds of the weak, of those that they can mold. I know you're strong, but they just have this way of convincing you. I'd hate to see that happen to you, so remember, kill them all. I tell them that I don't care what they say to me. I'm here to kill them. They could speak to me all they wished. They'd accomplish nothing. An easy goal to have in mind, but in practice, I guess I had no idea. Yeah, they kill the Valessa and my they-them. Well, Pro and Grizz aren't necessarily dead. I'm curious to see if they lived. I'd have to find out, however. Someone steps out of the room ahead of us. As they move towards us, I can see the white and gold of their cloak. One of them left their chambers? I thought they didn't do that. Oh, Rick, it seems this is quite the surprise. It's been ages since we've seen your face. Have you come to grovel in the face of your defeat? I've come here to win this war. To end this war. I bring an offering, the blade and pants. Do with them what you will, but I ask for your surrender. Leave this world and never return. Live your lives in peace somewhere far away. Just stay out of our business and leave us alone. What? Ulrich was selling me out? No, dumbass. Stab the triumvir. I turn and try to run, but he immediately grabs my left arm. I'm filled with fright, but I'm not strong enough to break free from his grip. You've done nothing but bring an armed enemy into our home. What makes you think that we can trust you? This is surely a trap. As long as the monarch can wield the blade, they are a threat. Ulrich scoffs. Then let me fix that. A second after, Ulrich phases the blade into his hands. Then, much to my regret, he slices through my arm with ease. I scream, and then from the elbow down, almost nothing remains. Bro. There, look how easy that was. Never again can that blade be used against you. Now do what I said. Surrender and leave this world. I don't feel anything, almost as if my body numbs itself from the trauma. But the sight is all too real, my lower arm limp and dead on the floor. Yeah. Fucking Ulrich. I love you, but also die. Blood spurts from the wound, and I look at Ulrich in disbelief. He makes direct eye contact with me and then lifts to the torch. I'm still gripping it tightly, and that's when things make sense. Was he trying to fool them? I still have use of my good arm. I slump against the wall and use the torch to burn the wound shut. A disgusting smell fills the air, and I can hear the crackling and sizzling. This is all I can do while I watch Ulrich ascend the stairs with the blade. How surprising. You've changed, Ulrich. We thought your allegiance to the rebellion was absolute. No, it's my allegiance to Alessia that takes priority. This senseless war will only end up destroying the world. One life means nothing to me if it allows the land to flourish. The triumvir looks down at my scabbard. They definitely believe Ulrich removed my dominant arm. I don't know why any of this is happening, but I let it all unfold. I trust Ulrich, and I know he's doing this for a reason. A generous offer, but one we cannot accept. Surely you know the truth now, after everything you've seen. The monarchy and those that follow their path lead worlds to ruin. Ulrich continues up the stair, gripping the blade as tight as he can. We request that you join us once more, Ulrich. It would appear that Hal, Shane, and Sophie have let us down. You can make it the right choice. Join our ranks and save the world. Ulrich lets out a loud sigh like he's considering their offer. What would you have me do? As he speaks, he reaches the top of the stairs and faces the triumvir. By now, I'm almost coherent again, and the wound bleeds no more, burnt shut. I watch the two of them converse, wondering what exactly is going to happen. Kneel and pledge your loyalty to our cause. Then turn that blade on the monarch and take his soul. There's a reason we need both his power and that blade. If you can do that, then all will be forgiven. You see, Ulrich, Pants is key to saving us all. He would waste his power, but while we plan to harness it correctly. What do you mean? Do as we say and we will tell you everything, even the things we could not tell you in the past. Ulrich immediately drops the blade to his side and kneels down. It hits the ground with a loud metallic clang and then rests there, motionless. Good. We are glad that you realize the error of your ways. Siding with the rebellion is foolish. It is a waste of your talent. With us, you will finally be back on the right side of history. Yes, Master, of course. My loyalty is forever yours. As the Grand Inquisitor, I have only one goal, to remove any threat that faces the throne. Ulrich grins as he says those words. Starting with you. A moment later, the blade disappears from the ground, but doesn't return to Ulrich's hands, or even mine. It faces directly through the chest of the triumvir. Ulrich? He rises to his feet and grasps the handle of the blade. I knew I could trust him. I knew he had a plan. I was so thankful that he wasn't betraying me. You think I believed you? Foolish, as always. You let your guard down at the first sign of obedience. The right side of history? Don't make me laugh. Ulrich. Use a powerful blade in order to play God, but now it's in the hands of Pants, a righteous man. He will undo all that you've done and liberate Alestia. A moment later, he pulls out the blade. You've held the world in chains for far too long, and now it's finally time that they were broken. Then with a harsh kick, the triumvir flies off the edge. I can hear them scream as they fall, and then the screams fade. I'm in complete disbelief. He killed one of them? Was it truly that easy? Ulrich drops the blade to the ground, and I summon it back in my grip. Yahoo! As I make my way up the stairs, my anger toward him is very clear. Look, I had to do it. A direct attack would have been suicide. We had to make them lower their guard and think that they were winning. An act of betrayal and a pledge of fealty is all I could think of doing. He looks like he's got a full blunderbuss on his back. Yeah. That's what the pommel of his sword is. It's just actually fucking a blunderbuss. He's got the OG gunblade. I start to speak, but he cuts me off immediately. I don't care what you have to say. Not right now. Get in those chambers and finish this once and for all. There's still 2 left and you're only giving them time to prepare. With a sigh of regret, I realize there's nothing I can do. I sheathe the blade and I slowly enter the triumvir's chambers. We'd have plenty of time to talk later. I had to see this through to the end. Either the end of the triumvirate or the end of myself. 50-50, brother. Flip a coin. Roll for initiative. Whoa! It's the place from the dream! When I enter their chambers, it looks just like I remember it. I've been here before. I've had visions of standing in this very spot. In those visions, I remember walking towards the idol in the back. Oops, wrong button. I can feel the blade respond to this room, but I'm not sure why. It's not moving or anything, just a feeling deep in my pussy. As I go to grab the blade, I hear a loud voice call out to me. Stop! Then out of nowhere, I see 2 cloaks appear by the idol. One of them stays in place, and the other walks towards me. The one at the back was surely my target, and their leader. Do not draw that blade unless you intend to use it. The idol will respond to your aggression and fight back. We will not harm you. We brought you here for another reason. Another reason? What could it be? I know I was told not to let them speak, but I'm curious. Assuming a neutral stance, I asked them to explain themselves. That is a tall order, Monarch. I noticed I used my proper title. In this moment, there was no room left for doubt. Everything Hal told us about the triumvirate was true. They don't speak, they just stand there in silence. If I had anything to ask them, I guess now would be the time to do it. However, earlier warnings echo in my ears. Warnings against letting them speak. Here's what we're gonna do, right? I'm gonna do that. That's a lot of options. I'm just shooting them. That was enough talk. I came here to kill them, and that's what I'd do. No matter what they had to say. They couldn't talk themselves free. They hurt my world and my friends. I would make them suffer. The mind can suffer when stuck in the same time and place. History repeating itself can be far more than maddening. We try to break free from that cycle, but only perish. This member of the Triumvirate is talking so differently. The one back in the previous room had almost a completely different story. If being caught in a cycle could drive them mad, I wondered which one was mad. This is why we will not stop you if you wish to kill us. That blade has kept us alive long enough to see things through. Our final rest would only be a sign that we had finally won. Save scum? It's not even a save scum. So go ahead, kill me and my master. Turn that blade on the idol and see what happens. See if you can finally free everybody from its wrath. Not just us or Alestia, but all worlds and all people. If you are not strong enough, then the cycle will just start anew. Before you know it, you may be facing us here once more. But know that we are not your enemy. All we've done to... I'm sick of hearing it. I'm sick of this weak justification. I phased the blade into my hand and thrust it through their chest. But, like I was warned, the idol responds to my aggression. The room is engulfed in a blinding darkness. It must be the idol. The blade usually causes a white light. I feel immense warmth around me and hear the crackling of flames. The darkness fades and the entire room is engulfed in flames. The Triumvirate stands before me, bleeding and crying. Pissing his pants, he shit and cum. These were no gods, just weak, arrogant people. Very well. I turn left and face the flames, forcefully taking them with me. I hold them there with the blade, tempted to absorb their soul. But no, they don't deserve it. They don't deserve the satisfaction. I pull the blade out and watch the wound ooze as the wound oozes blood. Then I grab them by the cloak and pull them close to me. In their final moments, I curse them and condemn them. You a bitch. Yeah. And then I push them back into the idol's flames. I hear them scream and writhe as they're slowly burned alive. In my opinion, they deserved a punishment far worse than that. Now, just one more to go. As I turn back to face the idol, the final triumvirate stands before me. I hold out the blade towards them, showing my intent to kill. That was my goal. Kill the triumvirate. Destroy the idol. Stop. Think about what you're doing. Everything we've done in the name of freedom. They get down on their knees and look up at me. Normally I'd send you back to start the cycle anew, but now your strength surpasses mine. This must be the end. I beg for your mercy. Let me live to see what I've fought for. Without hesitation, I swing the blade and cut off their head. Swing! They fall to the ground and blood stains the white of their cloak. I'm not sure what to believe, as they all had something different to say. Perhaps they meant to use that doubt as a weapon when I got here. I throw away that nonsense and stick to the goal I originally had. With them out of the way, it was time to destroy that idol for good. I take a step forward and my body is assaulted with pain. I can tell that the idol is fighting back and I fall to my knees. The flames are so hot I feel as if I'm melting away too, like the 1980 whatever movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit at the end when the guy gets the fucking acid poured on him in a PG movie. But no, something else is happening. It's not just the flames. It's my friendship. The idol is trying to kill me, but I'm not the only one here. Inside of me is the monarchy, billions of spirits wanting to help. It's almost as if they're shielding me, sacrificing themselves for me. I stand up and take another step forward. The pain is even worse. I fall to my hands and knees and cry in agony. It's too much. My vision blurs, but after a while, things return to normal. Though the pain has gone away, I start to feel weaker and weaker. I know that the souls inside of me are giving their lives for this. If I could get to the idol and attack it, I might be able to win. That was a big maybe, but there was one thing I knew for sure. I might not live through this, and there was no other option. Every step I took could easily be my last. I'm gonna go the other way. Determination rises within me, and I take another step forward. My body is racked with pain, and it's almost impossible to walk. I use the blade as a makeshift cane, and as a voice sounds in my head. You can do this, Pants! Don't give up! I'm not sure what I just heard, since nobody is actually around me. In these chambers it would seem that time and space act abnormally. With another step I grit my teeth. It feels like I'm being torn apart. Keep on moving! We didn't come this far just to lose now! But also don't die! As the souls exit my body to shield me, I get noticeably weaker. I tremble with every step, trying as hard as I can to keep myself standing. My comrades call out to me and urge me to keep moving. I start to cry. I guess I'm no longer the strongest member of the rebellion. I'm proud of you, Pants. You saw this through to the bitter end. With another step, I fall right to the ground. I lay there crying and squirming in pain, shitting my pants. My grip on the blade tightens as I shake. Is this really how you want your story to be told? Get up, Pants. Get up and finish what you started. Okay. I use the blade for support and try to rise to my feet. This is taking so much out of me. Would I have enough power in the end? Hoping with every fiber of my being that I do, I take another step forward. I knew there was something special about you, ever since the start. You brought us all together and unified us. You made us a family. I smile, a stark contrast to the tears streaming down my face. With another step, I'm almost facing the idol. I couldn't do this alone. The voices of my comrades and the souls inside of me carry me forward. So, everything has led to this, the Intercontinental WWF Championship. Yeah. The monarchy is no more, but you can still live. Make it through this and give Alessia the future it deserves. I take one more step and ready the blade. As soon as I thrust it into that idol, things would be over. But as the power within me dwindled, I realized one thing. No matter what happened next, the blade would be destroyed. But if I wanted to get rid of the idol for good, then I would perish as well. In order to live and see another day, I'd have to hold back, just a bit. But if I did that, then there's a chance the idol might not be fully defeated. It could come back in the future to corrupt and decay in other innocent worlds. Was keeping my life worth condemning other worlds to suffer like we did? I thrust my blade in the idol and activate it. The blinding white light follows. This was the end. The blade in mere moments would enact my final will. I just have to ask myself, what would that final will be? We dying? Excuse me. That's the thing, MC would save himself. I'm gonna quick save and I'll just quick load. I want to do spare your life because it makes sense. Plus, like, it's clearly been happening. But I feel like it's the objectively wrong one because morality is heavy-handed. Alright, so we're killing ourselves in a video game, literally. I couldn't spare myself if it meant that other worlds could be hurt. It would be selfish. Even though I wanted to live, I knew I couldn't. As soon as we set sail, I knew this would be the end for me. But even though I knew it was a possibility, I still didn't want to believe it. I was only fooling myself thinking that I could live to see what I fought for. I denied the triumvirate that right, and now I would deny it to myself as well. I guess it didn't matter now. I could feel myself fading away. I command the blade to use all the power it can, including that of my life. No matter what happened to me, I could rest knowing one simple fact. Alessia had been given the future that it deserved. In the hands of the people, they were free to live as they pleased. As everything fades away, I wonder what future might bring my allies. I'm assuming the fucking true ending is like, you have your cake and eat it too. Epilogue. I can't believe I'm dead. This is so sad. Sorry, let me, well, I am now dead. Oh, Valessa perished during the final assault on Balteus. A memorial was erected near Valinor, and she would never be forgotten. Her bravery, sacrifice, and loving nature empowered many for years to come. In the wake of her death, a formal election was held for Valinor's next elder. However, to honor her wishes and views, Valinor remained independent. It stayed this way for as long as time could tell, honoring her sacrifice. Though your time in this world was both short, tales of your bond endured. On the anniversary of your deaths, flowers would litter the street near your homes. This became a tradition, never lost to time, and your exploits were always honored. She was gone, but never forgotten. Fortame chose to settle in Mazeo after the war. Helping the nation's people adjust to the new world was his goal. However, this was to make up for the truth of learning that his parents were pirates. Undoing the damage they had done to the nation was his top priority. Soon after that, the wounds of Mazeo were healed. Everybody was safe and happy. Tales of the occupation and the triumvirate's wrath soon faded into history and legend. In his eyes, he had made up for any harm his parents had caused the nation. When he passed away, he was known as one of Mazeo's greatest public figures. Without his help and direction, many say the nation would have never recovered at all. However, due to Valessa's death, his work became almost doubled. He couldn't become the elder in her absence, so he arranged an election. It was only fair that Valinor be taken in the direction that the people wanted next. During all this, he never forgot your sacrifice. Though your time as lovers was short, he never got over the loss. He kept your memory alive by telling stories about you to everybody he could. He focused on the little things rather than your grand destiny. For example, how your life as children in Valinor went on. The tale of your love endured even after your passing. It wasn't very long until word of Fortame's other endeavors came to light. Having been the first person to climb the Grand Tree, he was a legend, and just like he had wished, it soon became a tradition for climbers to scale the tree. This continued for almost an eternity after his passing. Climbers would leave notes for him at the top of the tree, close to the heavens. They thought that maybe, somehow, he could read them. They thanked him for all that he had done. Fortame survived the war, despite all odds. His strong love for everything around him kept him afloat. When all hope was lost, he stood up and challenged death in the face. And for that, he was never forgotten. Living a long and full life, he was happy. Alestia was forever better because of him. After the war, Pro settled down in Mazeo. I knew he didn't fucking die. And started to write. He wanted to chronicle everything about the major players of the war. Working with any rebel survivors, he pledged that their story would never be lost. His work would go down in history as the most detailed records of wartime. Perhaps people would aspire to write like him, but to this date, none have come close. Considered one of the greatest historians in Alestia, he retired and lived a peaceful life. He wrote about you and your sacrifice in vivid detail. In his mind, the most important asset in the war should be remembered. But true to his methods, he wrote about your day-to-day life as well. Legend should be grounded in reality, at least that's what he thought. It was important for people to realize you were a person first and a hero second. This empowered generations to come with the idea that anybody could be a hero. Pro's identity as the mole within the rebellion never came to light. However, even if it did, he had done enough to make up for his actions. Many aspired to write like him, but none could achieve such prowess. Okay. After the war, Ulrich did his best to assist the throne and serve the monarchy. There was much to take care of, and things were chaotic after the fog of war settled. But he was up to the task, and he did everything in his power to make the world a better place. Having lost Vivian in the war, Ulrich stood up and took his place as ruler of Alarinthia, because he was Vivian's champion and survived. He did have a claim of leadership. Balancing his new duties in Balteus and Alarinthia, his life was busy and impactful. With your sacrifice, there was nobody left to lead Alestia. Ulrich, stepping up, took the role of the first king of the monarchy. His goal was clear, to educate the world on the new status quo. People slowly learned and adjusted to news of the Triumvirate's fall, but with many years of hard work, they had come to enjoy Ulrich's rule. Alestians lived in peace, never fearing what their rulers may do to them. He never forgot the romance that blossomed along your journey. Even though you were lost, he still stayed loyal to you in your memories. Though people thought he refused to move on, he knew this wasn't true. With his curse lifted, he was no longer afraid of dying. He knew that if he did, he might see his love again in the afterlife. This thought is what kept him going when things as a ruler got tough. Thanks to your efforts, Ulrich was able to live a happy life, free from the Triumvirate. The shadows of his past soon dissipated, and he turned into a new man, truly loved by the people. Though his secrets never came to light, he certainly had done enough work to make up for them. After the battle for Alestia, Damek had a lot of work to do. Going from a member of the rebellion to a leader of the monarchy was a huge change. He was no longer part of a small army, his actions affected the entire world. Because of your sacrifice, the surviving forces were in a state of disarray. However, this was put to rest when Ulrich stood up and assumed the role of king. Damek immediately pledged loyalty to his childhood friend and served as new king. But he never forgot about you and what you did in order to secure victory. He used you as a guide on what to do, and was known as kind and honorable. That was his way of honoring your growing love, using your ideals as inspiration. He remained in his role as advisor, just under Ulrich's leadership instead. Honoring your appointment, he served in this capacity until the end of his days. His bond with Ulrich stayed as strong as ever, as they always saw eye to eye. Damek eventually got over all the fears that controlled him. He paid visits to the spot where he lost his mother, but it held no power over him. Speaking as if she were there with him, he told her stories of everything that happened, and he was able to leave without really feeling sad. Instead, he was happy. He knew that if she were really there, she would be proud of him. That was enough to keep him going when times got tough. Thanks to your efforts, Damek was able to live a long, happy life. He served the throne for the rest of his life, remaining forever loyal. The tale of how far he'd come would go down in history and become legend. True to his word, Sylvie was never seen again after the trip back to Museo. Seemingly lost to history, nobody was able to confirm what had happened to him. However, for almost an eternity, sightings of a man resembling him had been reported. The man had always fought enemies of the monarchy, ensuring your legacy continued. If it truly was Sylvie, then perhaps his claims of defecting from the triumvirate were true, but as nobody could prove his true identity, this was simply a matter of conjecture and debate. Giving Hal his independence came at the cost of his life. However, he knew that the chances of dying were high when he asked. People would say that you made the right choice by granting him his wish. Many mourned the loss of Hal in the Battle of Alestia. His wealth of knowledge about the monarchy would have filled books. However, his kind is now all but extinct, a casualty of this ruthless war. Iron's Tavern went on to boom in popularity, being near the birthplace of the monarch. He was forever thankful that he didn't have to give up his home like Damek had wanted. As a tribute to you, he would rename the tavern in the future, as his way of saying thanks. This is where Milo settled out, unable to decide between Museo and Valinor. He lived a happy and peaceful life, choosing how his remaining days played out. Being free to choose what happened to him, he was never bound by duty again. After the chaos dwindled, Alex returned to Museo and started a new life. His treaty was honored, and pirates were forgiven for all they had done. All bans were lifted, and pirates were officially employed as traders. Nada was never seen again. It was assumed that she didn't agree with these changes, or perhaps she was spiteful that he didn't choose to align with her demands. Either way, Alessia would forever remember her as a ruthless pirate lord. After finding himself fully redeemed, Grizz returned to his office as mayor. Holding the pirate treaty he had coordinated, he helped Museo adjust to every change. Honoring the pirate treaty. He had long since been forgiven by the people, but it was only now that he forgave himself. The monarch vessels were affected by your attack on the Dark Idol. As if offering their strength when needed the most, the exit spirits vanished. When the fog of war settled, they were left as individuals, free of pain and despair. Oh, so it was the objectively correct one. Because Vivian had perished, Ulrich stood up as his champion. He helped ensure that Alarinthia remained on the path of the victorious party. Soon enough, it changed its ways, and existed in unity with the new monarchy. Trade routes were introduced and ports were open to everybody. A representative of the monarchy was elected to lead the nation into a new age. Holding a ball every year, Alarinthia kept up its tradition of giving back to the people. One thing was for sure, Alarinthia would never be in the hands of the strong again. Though Vivian wasn't alive to enjoy this new nation, his story would live on for an eternity. Shane was never seen again after that fateful encounter in Balteus. He is presumed dead, and many refuse to speak about his betrayal. If he survived, he went to great lengths to remain hidden from the world. When the chaos and confusion settled down, Hallen seemed like a new man. He likened his existence to that of a spectator watching a performance. No matter what he wanted to do, his body could not defy his masters. He decided to atone for what he had done and join the new monarchy. Of course, many people were apprehensive about accepting his aid. Over time, they learned to accept him and his desires as genuine. His job stayed largely the same, ensuring that Alestia's rulers remained in power. But with new masters and even new friends, he took pride in being on the right side. With the Dark Idol gone from Balteus, the corruption slowly waned. Over the next several decades, it made a complete transformation. Many would call it the most beautiful place in all of Alestian history. Its name was changed to New Balteus and left behind its old roots. No longer would it be known as the seat of the tyrannical triumvirate. People would see it as a place where Alestia was changed forever. People would come from all over the world to see the new home of the home of the new monarchy. It became a symbol of new beginnings, teaching people that change is always possible. As the corruption slowly disappeared, people settled down and turned it into a prosperous nation. You were successful in your aspirations. You left behind an entirely changed world. The members of the rebellion that survived had a new, even bigger journey before them. It was time to lead the world into the bright future that you secured. For them, work had only just begun. Thank you for your service, Monarch, for everything you've done. You will never be forgotten. Damn, I can't believe I'm dead. Still. Where's New Game Plus mode? Who the fuck's in my house? My vision fades in and I feel incredibly confused. Uh-oh. With everything that just happened, I should definitely be dead. Actually, maybe I was. Far be it for me to decide what death brought. I know that I'm in my house, and that much is easily discernible. After rising up to a sitting position, though, I noticed something shocking. The lower half of my arm is still missing. Could I have survived? No, that was impossible. So what's going on exactly? As my mind starts to fill with possibilities, there's a knock on my door. I'm filled with fright, but then a moment later I hear a familiar voice. Hey, open up! I rush to the door and Fortame steps inside my house. My heart is beating so fast, then joy overtakes me. I give Fortame a big hug and he seems surprised. Did you just wake up? Oh geez, I hope we won't be late. Don't tell me you forgot what day it is. Huh? It's the anniversary of your induction. If we don't hurry to the town square, we'll be late. Salus are undergoing enough stress, having to train Milas. Salus is alive? So come on, we need to get going. Your parents are counting on me, Pants. I told them to give me 10 minutes, tops. My parents? I'm in complete shock and I stand there dumbfounded. Salus is Hal's original body. He was the original leader of the rebellion who died. The small eternity passes before Fortame embraced the silence. Well, don't just stand there, you need to get ready. At this rate, you'll be greeting the townspeople in your underwear. I mean, you can if you want to, but I really don't recommend that. Yeah, actually just fucking parallel universe. I don't know what's going on. Am I in a new reality? The Elder is alive as well as my parents, and I've been inducted? This means that the rebellion was never formed. There is no occupation. Tears start streaming from my eyes and I give Fortame a bigger hug. I don't know what happened exactly, but I'm not about to question it. If this was the reward for my journey and sacrifice, then it was worth it. Whoa, hey, calm down! I cry even harder and Fortame can't help but show worry. Hey, wait, are you okay? I nod and tell him that everything's fine. And this time, it suddenly tells me it will stay that way. Click to continue.
4 days gone by, I recall those memories etched in my mind when our lives intertwined, a moment frozen in time.
Starring me as Valessa, me as Fortame, me as Ulrich, me as Sovi and Pro, me as Hallen and Damek, me as Howl, me as the Triumvirate, me as Shane, me as Grizz and Iron, me as Alex, me as Nada, me as Draku, me as Vivian, me as Zamira and Vance, me as all of these. They should hire me for the next game. I'd be open to it. Oh, these are all backer messages. You won't find my name there. I think this game had already come out by the time I played Major Minor. So is that the true ending? Did I actually just fuck it around and get the true ending? Now I'm curious. Alright. Here's what we're gonna do. Oh, I can't quick load. Maybe I can still. I want to see what the other ending is. Maybe I can just quick load from here. Yeah. I'm curious if it kept my quick save. Tight. Damn, he's good. I had a world to rule. I couldn't just let myself die. I was the monarch, and I needed to live up to that role. If I died during this war, the world could be thrown into disarray. At least that's the justification I give myself. I just know that deep down inside I deserve to see the world I fought for. That triumvirate wanted the same, but I denied them. What gave me the right? I guess it didn't matter now. I could feel myself fading away. After I commanded the blade to conserve power and save me, I closed my eyes. No matter what happened to me, I could rest knowing one simple fact. Alessia had been given the future that it deserved. In the hands of the people, they were free to live as they pleased. As everything fades away, I wonder what future might bring my allies. The joke here is that, they throw, like, other worlds in at, like, the last moment to, like, throw you for a loop, and that's bullshit. I hate that. Like, oh, but there's other worlds. Like, please, man, you can't just, like, you know, kill them. If you do this, you'll sacrifice other worlds. Who gives a shit? What worlds? Where? Point me to where they are. Valessa is dead. This is so sad. You would return to Valnorth once a year, and on the eve of her death, laying flowers in front of her home. You pay your respects and mourn. Fortame keeps the house in immaculate condition, saying it's what she'd want. She's gone, but never forgotten. So sad. Fortame shoots a sail on Mateo, blah blah blah. Undoing the damage they had done to the nation was the top priority. Yep. Regional election, kept in close contact with me, frequent visits to the throne ensured that your love never waned. A small ceremony was held in the back of Valinor to solidify your eternal love. From your new home in Balteus, you helped Fortame heal a wounded Mazeo. However, history would remember his efforts, as your legacy lay elsewhere. You were considered a team, and tales of your love endured both of your passing. Yep. So I don't care about pro. I don't care what pro effect has on me. So much to take care of, and things were chaotic after the fog of war settled. It was up to the task. Having lost Vivian in the war, ruled Alarinthia. During your reign, you never had known a more loyal ally. Though his past was with the Inquisition, his future was with you. Your love was strong, and ruling together was a joy. The world was at peace. He took on the job of helping the world adjust to the new status quo, spreading the news of the Triumvirate's fall. He helped people understand. It was a task as monumental as it was long to complete, but he did complete it. The world embraced your rule, and Alestia was forever better because of it. Insurrections were rare and insignificant, but things were peaceful, and all thanks to you. As your right hand and lover, literally my right hand, well, he'd be my left hand, really. Ulrich did everything in his power to keep it that way. Thanks to your efforts in lifting his curse, finally able to grow old. Somebody like you by his side to grow old with. Thanks to your effort, Ulrich able to live a happy life. Yep. After the Battle of Alestia, Damek had a lot of work to do, going from a member of the rebellion to a leader. You made a loyal servant to the throne of Alestia, carrying out your every order. Being originally in charge of the rebellion, it made no sense to back down after victory. Your love grew ever stronger, held together by an unbreakable bond formed in strife. As your closest advisor, you spent almost every waking moment together. The war did not win you rest, for in your victory the work had only just begun. Uniting a confused world and winning over their love as a ruler was a daunting task. It was a task that you two completed side by side. Damek was just as important to history as you, and he was never forgotten. Tales growth from orphan child to world leader inspired generations to come. Damek eventually got over all the fears that controlled him. He paid visits to spots where he lost his mother, blah blah blah. And he was able to live without feeling sad. He was happy. Long, happy life. Tell how far I come up. Yep. Cool. Don't give a shit about Sovi. The loss of Hal meant the loss of one of your key allies. For a while, your work was stressful and incredibly overwhelming. It was thanks to the help of your friends that you prevailed. Many mourn the loss of Hal. I wonder if you can keep him alive. Yep, allies, Riz, monarch vessels. What an ass pull, by the way. The spirits that fill the monarch vessels go to save you. And yeah, I think if you don't take the spirits, he'll live. But like at what cost, really? I don't know. But like, yeah, the whole like moral decision of like, do I make the vessels or do I make the seers? So like, if I make the seers, I guess nothing happens. I wonder if keeping Hal alive saves Vivian. Well, probably not. Shane, Hallen. Plus his ruler stayed in power, with new masters and even new friends. He took pride in being on the right side. Wahoo. The dark idol gone from Balteus, the corruption slowly waned. Cool. You were loved by all of your subjects and led the world into a new age, but guiding everybody to a bright future you secured would be a journey of its own, and knowing that fact made one thing clear: your work had only just begun. Thank you for your service. I did it. It's a bit underwhelming that it's just like all this for like Fire Emblem style ending. Like literally just did they die or not? There's no actual impact on it. I stumbled down the stairs, making my way into the atrium. Holding the destroyed blade of Exodus, I used it for support. It would never jeopardize the future of other innocent worlds. But I start to wonder if I may have made the wrong decision. I used the blade to temporarily destroy that idol, but it wasn't gone for good. Wherever it ended up in the future, how would they fight it off? Or maybe not having to rely on the blade of Exodus was a good thing. Maybe the next world it played could create another means to destroy it. All I knew for sure was that the blade was destroyed and Alessia was safe. As I move, I see flashes, almost like I'm having visions. I know I couldn't see the future, but for a moment it felt like I did. I can't explain it, but it felt like I knew what became of our lives. At least those that survived. If it was a vision, then I take it as one final gift. When I arrive back at the entrance, I see exactly who I expected. Just as we planned, everybody made their way here after the battle. It takes a few seconds before they notice me, but they all quickly approach me. Pants, I'm so glad you made it! When the castle started shaking, I feared for the worst. But I'm just glad I got to ring that bell. I saved so many lives! I'm not gonna lie, I was almost dead meat. If it weren't for Grizz, I would have been a goner for sure. And here I thought that I preferred sneaking alone. Then I see Ulrich approach me from the other side. It was good to see him alive. I can tell that he's super happy. All the stress and worry seemed to melt away from the room when I arrived. Everything went as planned. I bet you have some pretty interesting stories to tell. Stay for later, though. There's a lot of work to do. You'll never guess what happened, Pants. Just as I was about to fall in battle, Shane came to my rescue. I'm not sure where he is now, but I've sent out a search party. Everybody gathers around me looking at the broken blade. I guess there's no point in holding onto it anymore. I throw it to the ground. I'd never use it again. But I consider it a blessing that I'd never need to. I survived, and the blade of Exodus was no more. Nobody would ever again be tempted and seduced by its power. I did my part, and for that, it was time that I got some rest. Wait, rest? You know there won't be any time for that, right? You're the ruler of this world now. There's still so much left to do. He's right. Taking down the Triumvirate was just the first step. We need to tell the people what happened and earn their loyalty. But it won't be all bad, right? I mean, we'll have your back the entire time. I let out a soft laugh, but then stumble over. Fortame and Ulrich grab onto me and support me. Thanks, Polycule. I guess I wasn't holding up as well as I thought. Whoa, watch your step, Pants. Here, let's find you a place to sit down. Yeah, then we can talk about what happens next. Remember, this isn't the end, it's just the beginning. I smile as I remain in the arms of my comrades. They didn't know what happened next, but I still felt like I did. And Fortame was right, it was a new beginning for every Alestian. Except for Lessa. She's dead. Alright, that ending was objectively better. Don't fucking... Is it a polycule if the other people aren't involved with each other? I mean, they might be fucking, I don't know.
4 days gone by, I recall those memories etched in my mind When our lives intertwined, a moment frozen in time for me.
Alright. Yeah. The sacrifice myself ending sucked. Garbage. Other ending was fine. It's like the bog standard one. I kind of wish I had saved everyone, but can't win them all, right? I saved the people I cared about. Other ending leaves room for Winds of Change too. There's not gonna be a Winds of Change too. What am I gonna do? Like next? I have no clue. I haven't thought that far ahead yet. I'm gonna Alt F4 this game though right now. And look at that. 3 hours, almost to the minute. The other next game out already for chapter 1. Bring it up to me after it's fully released. We can talk about it then. For right now, I'm really looking forward to playing something that isn't a visual novel. Doki Doki. I'm not doing Doki Doki. I already know the twist, so it wouldn't be any fun. Neptunia? No, I'm good. Thanks. Yeah, I don't know. I'll think about what's happening next, because I don't have a grasp on it right now, to be honest. But that one shitty mobile game with the ads, that doesn't narrow it down. Yeah, thanks everyone for being here through that. Yeah, I don't know. It was fine. I think I still prefer Major Minor. Was a much cooler game in my opinion. Cooler is the wrong word. I think that Major Minor did the twist better. Whereas Winds of Change, like, it started off super strong and like focused on what it was, and by the end it was like, I don't fucking know anymore, dude. Just fucking do something. And yeah. Like, oh, there's other worlds. Oh, the Triumvir's motives are fucking weird. It really did play its cards too soon. Like, the whole concept was, we need to get the sword and stop us from getting murdered, because we saw a world where Valenworth gets burnt to death and I die. And then that turns into like, it just turns into so much shit, dude. Like, there's this whole red herring of the visions, and then that doesn't matter. And then how this whole thing is like, I can see into the past and see alternate worlds. What I was really hoping for at the end was like 3 decisions. One was sacrifice yourself, one was not sacrifice yourself. The third would have been remake your choices. Send yourself back in time. And you can choose like a point in the branching path. Like, really all you'd have to do is just send you back to right before you leave the ship to Balteus. Or earlier if you want to do that. So like if you want to decide with Draku, for example, maybe that's better. If you want to decide with whoever. And just like make it so you can quickly view the other endings and then go there. And then do like almost like a thing where sacrifice yourself deletes your fucking saves, or deletes the ability to do that. So like, you can't quick save or load after you begin the final battle. you can save and load, maybe you just can't save it all. You just have to go through the whole thing. But you can jump back in time and redo it over and over and over again, and maybe save at the final like the last thing. But after you do that, your save gets destroyed or something. I don't know. Like, all in all, they never should have mentioned the I don't know. A lot of it was just like a lot of noise, really. The romances were fine. It certainly was one of the games of all time. Like, normally when I'm invested in something like that, especially something that's so text driven, like, I expected to have more of an emotional hit at the end. But like, it seems like you don't get to like go through with any of it. It's like, oh, you had a small thing with Fortame, and then he climbed trees for the rest of his life. Yippee. You know, shit like that. But yeah, I don't know. I expected to have more of an investment, but it really got lost on me after the last act was dragged out so much. It really felt like it wanted to do the Mass Effect 2 thing, but like it did it so poorly that I didn't care. Because it was so like on the nose about if they survived or not, which was you did all their heart to hearts or you didn't. And it like wasn't even like secret about it. It was like you have to do this or else. So I don't know. It was fine. I'm sure the next game will be better. That being said, I'm not going to play the next game for a while. I might make it like a 1,000,000 channel point redemption or something to do, like choose a visual novel though. But I need to be choosy about it and maybe diversify my content a little bit to support that. So it's something I'm thinking about because, like, I don't know, Winds of Change is doing good numbers for me for whatever fucking reason. I don't know. Obviously within reason, dude. Oh yeah, go play Sex with Hitler too. Haha, got him. No. But yeah, I'm torched from that. I'll probably think about what I'm doing next on Monday. So we'll see how that goes. As for the stream schedule this upcoming week, I'm probably skipping Friday. Because I'm just going to do stuff. I'm taking the day off and just relaxing because I haven't had. I was looking at my time off schedule and I haven't had a day off in like months, which is bad, obviously. So we'll see. Obviously, feel free to throw out suggestions in the suggestion channel in Discord. If you're not in the Discord, you can find it here. But yeah, thanks everyone for stopping by. I hope you all enjoyed Winds of Change. We'll be back on Monday, most likely with something that's not Winds of Change. Who knows? I might just play fucking golf. But yeah, thanks everyone for stopping by. Feel free to spam sounds in the outro, and I will see you next time. Bye now.